normally again, return to the football field and take control of his life. Uze stands on the other side of the flame with a cold smile. He expects Amir to lose control. He wants Amir to attack him because that will give him another chance to destroy Amir through the police. Amir takes one angry step forward, but Sadhu catches him arm. Merit also moves between them. They know this is another trap. Uze is not simply burning money, he is trying to burn their friendship, their hope, and their ability to think clearly. Amir keeps staring at him, but instead of attacking, he says that every action has a price. Uze laughs and tells him that poor people always talks about justice when they have no power. Amir answers that power can change hands much faster than Uze believes. Hassan cannot listen to their argument. His eyes remain fixed on the fire. He remembers the doctor explaining that the operation should happen soon. He remembers the excitement on his friends' faces when they finally completed the money. For the first time in many days, Hassan had allowed himself to imagine a different life. Now that dream is turning into smoke. His breathing becomes heavy and he suddenly tries to move toward the flames. Merritt pulls him back before he falls. Hassan shouts that they should let him go because there is nothing left to save. His anger is not directed only at Jose, part of it is aimed at himself. He feels that his friends have lost everything because of him. He believes that their sacrifice has brought them only pain. Amir kneels beside Hassan and makes him look into his eyes. He says that money may be gone, but Hassan is still alive, and as long as he is alive, they have not lost. Hassan tells him not to offer empty hope. For millions, 4 million lira cannot appear again through friendship alone. Amir calmly answered that first amount also seemed impossible, yet they found it. This time they will find another path, and Uze will not be allowed to decide Hassan's future. Naz has followed Amir to beach without telling anyone. She remains behind an old wall near the road, watching everything from a distance. At first she planned to step forward, but then she sees Malik standing near Uze's car. Malik is trying to hide her face, yet Naz recognizes her. The truth becomes clear immediately. Uze could not have found the money without help from someone close to Amir. Naz takes out her phone and records a short video. She cannot hear every word, but the recording clearly shows Malik talking toward Uze after the money is burned. Naz feels both angry and disappointed. She knows Malik was hurt when Amir ended their relationship, but belonging Uze destroyed Hassan's chance of recovery. Something completely different. Naz wants to confront her at once. However, she understands that his evidence may become important. She keeps recording until Malik notices movement near the wall. Naz quickly steps back and hides in the darkness. Malik looks in her direction but sees nothing. Uze calls her and they leave together. Naz waits until their car disappears before running towards Amir and others. When Naz reaches them, Amir is trying to collect pieces of money that have not completely burned. Most of the notes are already destroyed. Some are back around the edges while others break apart when touched. Sadhu says they might be able to save a small part, but Merit knows it will not enough. Naz tells Amit that she saw Malik near Uze. Amit stops moving for a moment. He says nothing because he does not want to believe it. Although he ended his relationship with Malik, he never imagined she would join his enemy. Naz shows him the video. Amir watches it once, then watches it again. Hassan turned his face away because she feels responsible for the fight between them. Amir's expression changes from shock to sadness. He realizes that Malik knew exactly where the operation money was hidden. Only a small group of people had that information. Sadhu says they should find her immediately, but Amir refuses. He knows Uze is waiting for another emotional reaction. They must first take Hassan home, contact the hospital, and learn how much time they still have. After that, they can decide how to deal with betrayal. Uze drives through the empty streets with Malik sitting beside him. He is pleased with himself, but Malik looks disturbed. When she gives him the location of money, she believes he would steal it, use it as a way to control him. She did not expect him to return everything. She asks why he destroyed such a large amount when he could have kept it. Uze says the money was never the true prize. Watching Amir becomes helpless was worth more than 4 million lira. Malik tells him Hassan may lose his chance to recover. Uze answered that Hassan chose Amir's sides and must accept the result. Malik begins to understand the type of man she has trusted. She says she only wanted Amir to feel the pain he caused her. She did not want an innocent person to suffer. Uze laughs at creates an enemy. He tells her that everyone in their neighborhood has made a choice and every choice creates an enemy. He then warns her not to change her mind. She crossed the line now. If she tries to reveal what happened, he will make sure Hamir believes the whole plan belonged to her. Malik asks Uzair to stop the car, but he continued driving. His voice became harder. He reminds her she gave him private information, help him enter Amir's home and stay silent while the money burned. Even if she gone to the police, she will be treated as his partner. Malik realizes that he has been recording some of their conversation. She reaches for the door, but it is locked. Uze tells her to calm down. He says does not plan to hurt her as long as she remains useful. His words frighten her more than an open threat. When the car finally stops outside her street, he takes her phone and deletes several messages. He also checks whether connected Amir or Naz. Before letting her leave, he says that she will continue passing information to him. Malik says he will never help him again. Uze looks at her without emotion and tells her that people often say never before fear teaches them a new answer. Malik walks home with shaking hand. Her image no longer feels satisfying. It feels like a locked room. Uze is holding the only key. Back in Ziankar, news of burnt money spread quickly. Neighbors gather outside Zamir's home. Though it is late, some are angry, while others are frightened. They had donated savings, old jewelry, offered wages, and work extra hours to help Hassan. To them, Uze has not only attacked four young men, he has insulted the whole neighborhood, and all shopkeepers says they should go to Uze's house together and demand justice. Group of young men agrees, but Amir stops them. He explains that Uze wants a street war. If they respond with violence, the police will arrest people from Ziankar while Uze remains protected. Amir says their anger must become strength or not a weapon that Uze can use against them. Some neighbors accuse him of being too calm. They believe he is afraid. Amir accepts their harsh words because he understands their pain. Then he places the burned remains of the money on the table and says the fear did not bring them together the first time. Hope did not. If the neighborhood can create hope once, it can do it again, but this time they must also collect evidence and protect every step they take. Hassan sits inside the house and listen to the voice outside. He feels like a heavy burden on everyone. His mother tries to confront him, but he asks her why people should lose their savings for an operation that may not even succeed. She tells him that people help because they love him, not because they were promised a perfect result. Hassan says love cannot pay a hospital bill. His mother answers that money can open the hospital door, but love is what gives a person that courage to enter. Hassan becomes emotional and turns away. He has always hidden pain behind jokes and loud words. Now he cannot find a joke strong enough to protect him. He tells his mother he is tired of watching one fight for him. She reminds him that he once fought for his friend without asking what it would cost. Friendship does not work only when life is easy. Hassan asks whether she would forgive him if he refused the operation. She says she would always love him, but she would never forgive him for surrendering because another man wanted him to lose hope. Early the next morning, Hassan, Saju, Merit, and Naz visit the hospital. The doctor explained that Hassan's condition has not suddenly become worse, but delaying the operation will reduce the chance of a full recovery. The hospital can keep the scheduled date for a short period, but it needs a serious payment soon. Amir asks for more time. The doctor says he understands their situation and will speak with the hospital office, yet he cannot make promises outside the rules. Hassan quietly asks what will happen if operation is cancelled. The doctor answers honestly. Hassan may continue living with these current limits, but the pain and weakness could increase. A future operation may also become more difficult. Amir refuses to accept that answer as the end of story. He asks for every medical document, cost detail, and possible support program. Naz noticed that the final cost may be reduced if they find a charity or special fund willing to cover part of the treatment. This gives her an idea, but she does not explain it yet. She needs to speak with someone from her family first. Outside the hospital, her son tells his friend to stop. He says the doctor has made everything clear. They cannot replace 4 million lira in a few days. He will not allow them to risk their lives again. Sadhu becomes angry and tells Hassan he does not have right to decide what other peoples are willing to do for him. Hassan answered that it is his body and his operation, so the final decision belongs to him. Mary tries to calm them, but this agreement becomes more painful. Hassan says Sadhu has family, Marita has dream, Amir will have a chance to become a football player. They should not destroy their future while trying to repair his. Amir asks whether Hassan would walk away. Hassan finds it easier to give loves than receive it. Hassan has always believed he must strong for everyone else. Now is frightened because he needs them. Amir says needing help is not weakness. The real weakness would be letting Uze decide how their story ends. Nas leaves them for a short time and calls her adoptive father. Since learning the truth about her birth, their relationship has become tense. She no longer knows which part of childhood were honest and which parts were carefully arranged. Still, she knows her family connection with business owners, private hospitals, and social foundations. She asks for a meeting about her son. Her father first says it is not good time. Nas tell him that a young man may lose his chance to walk because someone burned his operation money. She says that if her father wants to repair even a small part of the trust between them, he should help her open the right doors. He agrees to meet the afternoon, but he wants her not to expect millions of lira immediately. Nas says she is not asking him to buy her forgiveness. She wants names, meetings, and a fair chance. Amir oversees the final part of the call. He thanks her, but he also says he does not want Hassan treatment to become part of her family conflict. Naz answers that helping someone is her choice. Nobody, including Amir, has the right to take the choice away. At the same time, Uze visits a private officer near the harbor. A man named Salim is waiting for him. Salim manages several illegal jobs for powerful people and help Uze hide money before he is surprised to learn that Uze burned 4 million lira. He says such actions are emotional and dangerous. Uze insists that fire was an investment. Amir will now become desperate, and desperate people make mistakes. Salim asks what happened if the neighborhood raises the money again. Uze says he will destroy the second attempt as well. He wants Hassan's operation cancelled because Hassan is the weakest point in Amir's group. If Hassan loses hope, his friendship between foreman will begin to break. Salim warns him attacking a whole neighborhood may bring attention from the press and police. Uzair does not care. He believes fear will keep everyone silent. He orders Salim to watch the hospital, local businesses, and anyone who contact Amir. Salim agrees, but after Uzair leaves, he makes a private phone call. He tells an unknown person that Uzair is becoming impossible to control. Malik spends the morning searching for a way out of Uze's trap. She considers going to Amir, but every possible conversation ends badly in her mind. She imagines Amir looking at her with hate. She imagines Hassan's mother asking why she values her broken relationship more than her son's health. She is also feared that Uze will release the recording and present her at main planner. While she is thinking, Naz arrives at her door. Malik freezes when she sees her. Naz enters without waiting for an invitation. She places her phone on the table and plays the video from the beach. Malik tries to deny what it shows. She says she went there after hearing about the money. Naz asks how she knew where to go. Malik has no convincing answer. Naz then tells her the difference between making a terrible mistakes and becoming a terrible person is what someone does after the mistake. She gives Malik one chance to explain everything. Malik's eyes fill with tears, but fears keeps her silent. She tells Naz to leave. Naz says she will, but the next person asking question may be Amir. After Naz leaves, Malik receives a message from Uze containing a photograph of Naz entering her house. He has someone watching her. The message says that silence is the only safe choice. Malik deletes it, but another message arrives immediately, proving that Uze can see when she reads them. She closes the curtains and begins checking the rooms. For the first time, she wonders whether he has placed a listening device inside her room. He fears grow when she finds a small object beneath a side table. She does not know whether it is a microphone or only a electronic part. She puts it in a glass jar and carries it outside. Instead of throwing it away near home, She walks several streets and leaves inside in a public rubbish bin. Then she buys a cheap second phone with cash. She calls Rami because she knows he has dealt with Uze before. Rami does not answer, so she sends only one short message. She needs help and cannot explain why. She has taken her first steps against Uze, but she does not care now whether Rami can be trusted. Amir and his friends return to neighborhood, began planning to illegal public campaign. Married to guest, sharing Hassan's stories online. Sadhu wants to organize a football match because Amir's talent can attract attention. Nas proposes combining both ideas. They can arrange a large community match, invite former players and local artists, broadcast it online, and direct every donation through an official account controlled by Lahar. That will stop Uze from stealing physical money again. Amir agrees but insists on complete transparency. Every lira must be recorded. Hassan listens without joining the discussion. He believes they are building another dream that Uze will destroy. Amir asks him to help design the campaign because people should hear Hassan's own voice. Hassan refuses to appear in the sad video. He does not want the treasure to rotate out of pity. Nas says the campaign should not show him as helpless. It should that a young man with talent and courage is fighting for a medical chance that should not depend on his family's income. Hassan slowly agrees to think it, but he still does not promise to take part. Neighborhood small football ground becomes the center of activity. Children clean the streets, shopkeeper offer food, local worker being fixing broken lights. Electrician says he will repair the system without payment. A woman who owns a bakery offered to sell breads and cakes during the match. A tailor suggests making shirt with Hassan's name. Amir watches the work and understands why Uzi fears their unity. The neighborhood has little money, but it contains hundreds of people who knows how to share efforts. Sadhu jokes that ground has not looked this clean since they were children. Merit says they should not celebrate too early. They still need official permission, security, medical support, and guests who can bring public attention. Nas takes responsibility for sponsor and media contacts. Amir will speak with football players he met during past trials. Sadhu and Merit will handle the ground. Hassan is asked to choose a name for the event. After thinking for a long moment, she calls it one more step. The name is simple, but everyone understands its meaning. Amir visits his former football coach Kemal, who once believed he could become a professional player. Their relationship ended badly when Amir missed an important opportunity because of trouble in the neighborhood. Kemal is not pleased to see him. He says Amir always arrives with the crisis and expects football to solve it. Amir admits he made mistakes, but this time he's not asking for a place on a team. He explains Hassan's medical situation and a planned charity match. Kemal listens without showing much emotions. When Amir finishes, the coach asks whether the story is true or another attempt to attract attention. Amir gives him the hospital papers and police complain about the burned money. Kemal studies them carefully. He still refuses to promise anything, but he says he will call two former players and one sports reporter. Before Amir leaves, Kemal asks whether he still trains. Amir says there has been no time. Kemal tells him that people often say there is no time when they are afraid of discovering whether their dream is still alive. Those words stay with Amir as he walks home. Football has always been his greatest dream, but recent events have pushed into the background. Every day brings a new danger, family problem, or fight. Part of him wonders whether Uze has already won by turning his life into an endless battle. At the old ground, Amit sees a group of children playing with a damaged ball. They recognize him and ask him to join. He plays for only a few minutes, yet the feeling changes him. When the ball reaches his feet, the noise in the mind becomes quiet. Naz watches from interest. She sees a hide of Amit that rarely appears during dangerous struggle. He looks free. After the children leaves, she asks why he stopped chasing football. Amit says he did not stop. Life simply kept placing wall in front of him. Naz replies that walls are not always right to turn back. Sometimes they show where a person must climb. Amir smiles and asks when she became a coach. She says she learned from watching stubborn people. Their conversation become more personal. Their conversations become more personal. Nas tells Amit that learning she was adopted has made every memory feel uncertain. She loves the people who raised her, but she is angry because they decided she could not handle the truth. Amit says love does not excuse dishonesty, but it can make forgiveness possible. When the truth is finally faced, Nas asks whether he is speaking about her family or Malik. Amir becomes quiet. He admits that Malik's betrayal hurts because he once trusted her completely. Their relationship was already broken, yet he still believed she would never attack his friends. Nas says pain can make people cruel, but cruelty makes a choice. Amir asks whether Nas thinks Malik can repair what she has done. Nas answers that repairs begin with truth and Malik is still hiding. She does not mention the fear she noticed in Malik's eyes. She is not ready to defend her, but she suspects that Uze now control her through threats. Amir looks at Naz and says he's grateful she came to beach. Their hands almost touch, but Sadhu interrupts them with news about the event permit. Local council has rejected their first request. The official reason is that the football ground does not meet safety standards for a large gathering. Merit is sure Uze influenced the decision. They had not even announced the date publicly, yet someone complained before the paper were reviewed. Sadhu wants to visit the office and demand an answer. Nas says that they should first treat it as a safety port. Most of the listed people problem can be fixed. Emergency exits, lighting, crowd barriers, first aid sports. The only serious issue is the short amount of time. Amir suggests moving the match to another ground, but doing so would remove the neighborhood from the heart of the event. Hassan says the whole purpose is to show what the anchor can build. The should not leave someone made the process difficult. His determination surprises everyone. For the first time since the beach, he sounds like himself again. They decide to repair every listed problem, the documents work, and submit a second request. The NAS will also invite an independent safety expert so the consuls cannot reject them without a valid reasons. Uze learns about the charity match before sunset. Salim gives him photograph of the repairs and copy of permit applications. Uze orders him to make sure that events never happen. Salim asks whether burning the money was not enough. Uze says Amit turned the fire into public campaign, which makes the situation more dangerous. If just so people support Hassan, Uze will appear weak. Salim suggests allowing the event and taking control of the donation through a fake online account. Uze likes the idea. Instead of stopping the match, they can create a false donation page that looks official. People will send money to the wrong place and Amir will be blamed for poor management. Salim wants that digital theft leaves evidence. Uze tells him to use people who cannot be linked directly to them. He also wants troubles during the match, but not enough to cancel it before the money starts arriving. His plan is to let hope grow and destroy it at highest point. He believes a second loss will break Hassan completely. Merritt begins building the official campaign page with help from a university student named Lala. She understands online security and tells him that must verify every account before publishing. She also warns that fake pages may appear. Merritt jokes that computers are easier than people because a machine gives a clear error when something is wrong. La answers that machine only follows instruction people give him, which means human dishonesty can still enter every system. While they work, she noticed several attempts to access to the unfinished pages. Someone already knows the web address, even though Merit shared it only with the group. This means their communication may be watched. Leila changes the password and creates a private system for important information. She also tells Merit to stop sending plans through ordinary message. Merit remembers that Malix knew the location of money and wonders how many details she passed to Zay. Leila saved the access record. One address appeared connected to a company near the harbor. Mary decides to investigate without telling Amir because he knows Amir will stop him taking the risk. Naz meets her adoptive father at a quiet restaurant. The conversation is uncomfortable from the beginning. He asks how she is feeling after learning the family secret. Naz says they are not meeting to discuss her feelings. She gives him Hassan's medical documents and explains the campaign. Her father says he can contact a hospital foundation and perhaps arrange a discount, but he refuses to transfer million without proper review. Naz says she is not demanding a blind payment. She wants him to help quickly because the medical deadline is close. He studies the document and notices the doctor name. He now a member of hospital board. He agrees to arrange the meeting next morning. Nas thanks him, but he asks whether Amir is the reason she's involved. She replies that Hassan's health is the reason. Her father warns her that Amir's world is filled with danger. Naz says danger did not begin when she met Amir. It was already inside her own home, hidden behind years of silence. Her father is hurt by answer, but he knows she is right. Before leaving, Naz asks a question about her biological family. She wants to know whether anyone connected to Uze knows the truth about her adoption. Her father becomes nervous and says the matters are separate. Naz notices the change in his face. She asks again, but he refuses to answer in a public place. He promises they will speak later. Naz says later has been his favorite word for her entire life. Every truth has delayed until it became more painful. Her father finally admits that Uze family had business dealing with people connected to Naz mother's birth. Bert's mother, he claims he does not know more. Naz do not believe him. She realizes that Uze may possesses information about her past, which could explain why he sometimes speaks to her as if he knows more than should. She leaves the restaurant with two goals. She will save Hassan's medical chance and she will uncover the connection between her history and Uze's family. For the first time, these two struggles appear to be a part of the same larger secrets. Rami finally answers Malik's message and agrees to meet her inside an abandoned workshop. Malik tells him Uze is watching her and may have recordings that make her appear responsible for everything. Rami is not surprised. He says Uze never worked with anyone as an equal. He collects weakness and uses them as chains. Malik asks Shows can she can escape. Rami says the first rule is to stop reaching from fear. Uze expects frightened people to follow his instructions. Second rule is to discover where he stores his evidence. Malik asks whether Rami knows. He says Uze keeps some file on a private server, other in a lock room at the harbor office. Rami once saw Sailing, entering at room with several phones and hard drives. Malik asks him to help her get inside. Rami refuses at first. He does not want another war. She reminds him that Hassan may lose his operation because of what they all allow Uze to do. Rami finally agrees to watch the office, but he says Malik must tell Amir the truth before it is too late. Malik says Amir will never listen to her. Rami answered that forgiveness is not first goal. The truth is she must accept that Amir may hate her and still speak honestly. Malik begins crying. She says she did not know they would burn the money. Rami tells her that this does not remove her responsibility. She gave a dangerous weapon, even if she did not choose how he used it. Malik asks whether he ever used a mistake that could not be repaired. Rami says everyone in Jayankar has such a mistake. Difference is whether they continue protecting themselves or begin protecting the people they harm. He tells her to collect evidence before approaching Amit because words alone will sound like another lie. Malik agrees as she leaves the workshop. Neither of them notice Salim's man watching from a parked motorbike. The man sends a photograph to Salim, who chooses not to forward it to Uze. Salim is beginning to build his own plan, and Malik may become useful to him. At Hassan's home, campaign teams may record a video. Hassan sits in front of camera but struggles to speak. The prepared words feels false, so he throws the paper aside. He says he does not want to describe himself as a victim. Leila keeps the camera running and asks him to speak as if he's talking only to his friend. Hassan Leila takes a breath and begins running. He talks about growing up on street where children learn early that talent is not easily enough. He explained that one accident, one bill, or one powerful enemy can change a person's whole future. He says he wants the operation because he still has plan, but also wants the campaign to help people understand something larger. Poor families should not have to beg for medical treatment. A young person's future should not depend on whether a rich man chooses to show mercy. His voice becomes stronger as he continues. He promises that if he receives more money than he needs, every extra lira will support another patient. When the recording ends, the room is silent. Amir says they no longer need prepared words. This video spread quickly after it is posted. Local pages share it first, followed by sports accounts and several actors. Donations began arriving mostly in small amounts 10 lira, 50 lira, 100 lira. Hassan watches the number rise and becomes emotional. Mary tells him not to focus only on large donor. Every small amount represents someone who decided his family life matters. Within 3 hours, campaign reaches a surprising total. Then Laila finds the first fake page. It uses the same video design and photographs. Payment details are different. Thousands of people have already viewed. Merit immediately reports the account. Yet another copy appears. Uses digital public figure to share only the officer address. Email records another short message explaining that there is one legal account that attempted to steal donation, create more public interest. Several journalists contact them, asking why anyone would target a medical campaign. Emir knows they must be careful. Public attention can protect them, but it can also bring new pressures. Uze watches the growing campaign from his office. He becomes angry when the fake pages are removed faster than expected. Salim explains that Amir's team hired someone strong technical knowledge. Uze orders him to find person. Salim says harming a university student would create unnecessary risk. Uze accuses him of becoming weak. Salim remains calm and says good strategy is not weaken. Uze throws a glass against the wall. He cannot accept that another direction. He calls a journalist who owes him a favor and offers a false story. According to this version, burned money never existed. Amir and his friends created the beach scene to collect donations. Uze provided edited photographs and claimed the operation cost is also false. He expects the accusation to create doubt, even if most people do not believe it. Confusion may show the campaign. For ending the call, he says Hassan's past should be investigated. He wants every old mistake turned into public scandal. False report appears that evening. Its headline asks whether the charity campaign is a fraud. It describes Amir as a troubled young man with police records and suggests Hassan is being used to collect money. The story contains no real evidence, but it spread quickly because the accusation is dramatic. Donations flows almost immediately. Some people demand proof, others leaves and comments beneath Hassan's video. Hassan reached them despite everything, telling him not to. One senator calls him an actor, and another says he should be ashamed of stealing from sick people. Hassan closes the phone, but the words remain. Amir apologized for pushing him into public campaign. Hassan says Amir does not need to apologize. He chose to record the video. Still, he admits that he was not ready for people to question whether his pain was real. Amir tells him that Usain depends on shame. He attacks people and then makes them feel guilty for defending themselves. Hassan asks how long they can keep fighting every new lie. Amir says they do not have to answer every voice. They only need to protect the truth. Hassan looks at the donation totals and sees that it is still far below the target. He says the match may be their final chance. Amir agrees, but he asks Hassan to promise something. No matter what happened at the event, Hassan must not blame himself. Uze is choosing to attack them. Hassan is not creating cruelty simply by needing an operation. Hassan does not answer immediately. Finally, he promises to try. For Amir, that is enough. He knows hope does not always return a confidence. Sometimes it returns a destroyed person agreeing to continue for one more day. Independent safety expert complete his inspection of the football ground. Thanks to the neighborhood's work, most problems have been fixed. Only two emergency barriers and an ambulance agreements remain. Na's father uses one of his contacts to arrange medical support for the event. Second permit application is approved, leaving Uze with less time to interfere. News of match reaches several former football players. Kemal confirmed that two will attend, along with popular sport presenter. Amir is surprised that his old coach has done so much. Kemal says he did it for Hassan, not for Amir. He adds that a scout from a professional club may also come. Amir immediately says they should remain focused on Hassan. Kemal replies that real life does not wait for one problem to finish before offering another opportunity. Amir can help his friend and still pay for his own future. He should be ready. The news creates new pressure. Amir has not trained properly, and Uze may use the match to attack both Hassan's campaign and Amir's football dream. For sunrise the next day, Amir returns to ground alone. He begins running and practicing with the ball. His movements are rough at first, but slowly all control returns. Sadhu arrives carrying tea and makes fun for Amir, training like a secret professional. Merit joins them soon after. For a brief time, the three friends talk about football instead of money, enemies, or hospital. They remember the games they played as children when two stones form a goal and every broken window created a new argument. Hassan watches them from the side of the ground. He tries to hide his sadness. Football once connected all four of them, but now his body will not allow him to join. Amir sees him and passes the ball gently. Hassan stops it with his stronger foot. Everyone waits. Hassan returns the pass and Amir sends it back. They continue slowly. It is not a real game, but it becomes an important moment. Hassan understands that he has not been removed from the team even when he cannot run. His friend still sees him as a part of every match. Naz arrives with good news from Hospital Foundation. The board has agreed to review Hassan's case as an emergency. It could cover a large part of the operation cost. However, they need proof that campaign can pay the remaining amount. The charity match is still important. Hassan thanks her, but amid notice she looks worried. She tells him about the possible connections between her birth family and Uze's family. Amir asks whether Uze may know who her biological parents are. Naz says it is possible. She fears he might use the information against her or hide it forever. Amir offers to help investigate, but Naz says Hassan must come first. Amir disagrees. Uze has linked all other lives together. Understanding Naz's past may reveal why he has so much influence and what he truly wants. Naz admits that she is afraid of the answer. Amir says truth can hurt, but uncertainty gives other people control. Naz looks at him and realizes he is speaking from his own experience with Malik. Their closeness grows, but neither of them is ready to name what is happening. Malik secretly enters Uze's harbor office using an access card Rami obtained from a former worker. Rami waits outside with the motorbike. The plan is simple. She will search the locked room, photograph any evidence, leave within 10 minutes. Inside, the building appears almost empty. Malik moves through the corridor and reaches the office. Card opens the first door, but the locked evidence room needs a code. She tries Uze's birthday and several business numbers without success. Then she remembers a date he once mentioned during an argument, the day his father lost control of an important company. The code works. Inside, she finds shelf filled with cheap phone memory cards, files, and label envelope. One envelope carries her name, another carries Amir. She opens hers and finds photograph, message records, and notes about her family. Jose had been studying her long before their partnership began. She photographs everything. When she opens Amir's file, she discovers a document connected to an old football corruption case. Before she can read it fully, she hears footsteps aside. Malik hides behind a cabinet. Salim enters the room. He looks directly towards her hiding place and says she can came out. Malik expects him to call Uze, but he closes the door instead. He tells her he knew she would eventually search the officer. She asks whether he plans to stop her. Salim says that depends on what she offers him. He's tired of Uze's reckless action. Uze is creating too much attention and powerful partners are beginning to worry. Salim wants information that can remove Uze without damaging the largest business. Malik refuses to help another dangerous man. Salim tells her she is in no position to demand clean choices. He gives her a small drive containing copies of several recordings. In return, she must tell him that Amir is planning. Malik takes the drive, but she says she will not betray Amir again. Salim smiles and says she already has. She allowed to leave because he knows fear will continue working inside her. What he does not know is what Malik secretly recorded their conversation on the cheap phone. Rami drives Malik away before Uze arrives. She tells him about Salim and Allah shows him the drive. Rami says they should not open it to an ordinary computer because it may contain tracking software. They take it to Lala, but Malik refuses to enter the main campaign office. She fears Amir. See, Rami goes inside alone and tells Lala he found the drive near the harbor. Lala does not believe the weak story, yet she agrees to inspect it. She uses an isolated computer and discovers audio file, photograph, financial records, private reports. Several people from Jianka. Some files are locked. One recording contained Uzair ordering the creation of fake campaign pages. Another proves he knew where the operation money was hidden before he went to Amir's house. Lala asked Rami where he really found it. He says someone who made a serious mistake is trying to repair part of damage. Lala realizes he means Malik. She warns him that Amir deserves to know. Rami says he will, but only after the secure copies of everything. Day of charity match arrives with neighborhood full of nervous energy. People had signs from balconies. Children wore shirts carrying the words "One More Step." Food stalls line the road near the ground. Volunteers checks every donation point. The official online total has risen, but they still need a large amount. Hassan is taken to event in decorated car, which embarrasses him and makes him smile at the same time. His mother sits beside him, folding his hand. Amir wears his football boots Sadhu and Merit join the neighborhood team while several former players agree to play short periods on both sides. Naz manages the press area. The crowd is larger than expected and approved seats fill quickly. Outside the gates, hundreds more watch on screens for the first time since the money burned. Hassan believes the operation may truly happen, yet beneath the excitement, danger is moving. Men connected to Uze enter using false volunteer passes. One carries a device designed to cut the ground's electricity. Another moves toward the control room for the online broadcast. Uze watches from a black car parked on a hill above neighborhood. He has decided not to appear publicly. Salim sits beside him, pretending loyalty while secretly planning to protect his own interest. Uze explained that first failure will happen during Amir's most important moment. The lights will go out, broadcast will stop, and a fight will begin near the donation office. During the confusion, someone will place illegal money in the account room. Police will receive an anonymous report accusing Amir's team of money laundering. Salim says the plan involves too many moving parts. Uze answered that destruction should look natural, not simple. He wants the public to believe Ziyan Khan cannot organize anything without crime and chaos. Salim sent a hidden message to one of his own men ordering him to delay the police call. He does not want Uze to succeed completely. He needs both sides alive and dependent on information he controls. In this struggle, Salim is no longer only a helper, he is becoming another player. Match begins with loud cheers. Amir is nervous during the first few minutes and loses the ball twice. Kemal watches from the side without expression. The visiting scout takes notes. Hassan shouts instruction as if he team coach. His voice helps Amir forget the pressure. Soon Amir begins playing with confidence. He moves past to defender and creates the first goal for Sadhu. The crowds celebrates an online donation rise. Merit jokes that Sadhu will not talk about the goal for 10 years. Sadhu answered that he will talk about it for 20. The events feel joyful, which is something the neighborhood has badly needed. Naz watches Amir from the press area. She understands that football is not only his personal dream, it is a place where his anger becomes focus and his fear becomes movement. When Amir scores that next goal, he does not celebrate alone. He runs toward Hassan and points at him. The whole team follows. Camera captures the movements and videos spread rapidly. A major company announced that it will match donation received during the next 30 minutes. Uze sees the announcement and orders his men to begin immediately. One man enters the electrical room, but an old electrician from the neighborhood notices that he does not belong there. The electrician asks his volunteer card. The man attacks him and reaches for the main switch before he can cut the power. Two local workers stop him. At the broadcast room, Leila notices unusual activity for the network. Someone is trying to replace the official donation link during the live stream. She blocks the change and locks the system. Merit leaves the match to help her. Together, they trace the attack to device inside the building. They find another false volunteer attempting to escape. Merit catches him near the stair, but the man pulls a knife. Lala activates the alarm. Security volunteers arrive and surround him. The event continues because most people do not understand what is happening behind the scenes. Uze becomes furious. His carefully planned breakdown is falling because the neighborhood prepared for trouble instead of trusting luck. Final part of the plan is more dangerous. A third man carries a bag of illegal cash toward the donation office. Malik sees him because she has come to event. It's clear she had planned to give the drive to Amir after the match, but she recognized the man from Uze office. She follows him through the crowd. When he enters the donation area, she calls Rami and describes the bag. Rami wants Naz, who contact Liar and official security team. They stop the man before can hide the money. Bag contained cash connected to a recent robbery. Had it been found inside the campaign office, the entire event would have become part of criminal investigation. The man tries to run, but Malik blocks the side exit. He pushes her to ground and escapes toward the street. Amir, who has just left the field break, he sees Malik fall. He catches the man after a short chase. Police officers stationed near the event arrest him. Amir then towards Malik and looks between them, carries anger, pain, and many unanswered questions. Malik tells Amir she came to warn them. Amir asks how she knew about the attack. She cannot explain everything in the middle of the crowd. She hands him the drive and says it contained proof against Uze. Amir refuses to take it at first. He asks whether evidence can return the burned money, remove the fear Hassan's family has suffered. Malik says no, nothing can change what he did. She admits she gave Uze the location because she wanted to hurt Amir. She believes he would steal the money, not destroy it. Amir says stealing it would have destroyed humans. Hassan's operation. Malik lures her head and accepts this. She does not ask for forgiveness. She only tells him Uze, spy on all of them, is preparing something larger. Naz joins them and confirms that Malik helped stop that money traps. Amir takes the drive but says no good action cannot erase betrayal. Malik answered that she knows she will continue helping even if he never forgives her. For the first time, Amir believes she may speaking honestly, but trust remains far away. The match resumes after the arrested and men are moved. Organizer makes a public statement explaining that an attempt to interfere with the event was stopped. They do not mention every detail because police investigation has been instead of writing donors in news creator stronger sport. People are impressed that the campaign used legal account, independent supervision and clear crowd codes. Company matching donation extended its offer a famous football player watching the broadcast and a large contribution. The hospital foundation contact NAS and confirm it will pay more than half of operation cost. When the final whistle sounds, the campaign total crosses the amount needed for Hassan's treatment. First, crowd does not understand why Lala is crying. Then she places the total on the large screen. Silence lasts only 1 second before the ground explodes with celebration. Hassan covers his face with both hands. His mother embarrasses him. Sadhu lifts Merit into the air, nearly causing both of them to fall. Amir stands in center of the field, unable to speak. Kemal approaches Amir after the celebration. This visiting scout was impressed not only by Amir's skills but by controlling under pressure. A professional club is willing to invite him for a close trial. The date is the morning after Hassan's scheduled operation. Amir's first response is fuse. He wants to remain at hospital. Hassan hears him and became angry. He says the entire campaign was built around taking one more steps, yet Amir is now afraid to take his own. Amir says friendship is more important than a football trial. Hassan answers that real friendship should not demand the death of another person's dream. He tells Amir to attend trial and return after his mother and the whole neighborhood will be at hospital. Amir still hesitates. Hassan then jokes that if the operation fails because Amir is not sitting in the waiting room, he will personally complain to the doctor. The doctor removes some of the fear. Amir accepts the trial but he promises to be at the hospital before Hassan wakes. From the hill, Uze watches the celebration with a face full of hate. Every part of his plan has failed. The campaign reached its target. His men were arrested and Malik openly returned to the Amir's side. He blames Salim for poor execution. Salim says the men made mistakes because Uze forced the plan too quickly. Uze punches him and warns him never to question an order again. Salim does not fight back, but something changes in his eyes. He has served many dangerous people, yet he has never accepted public humiliation. After Uze leaves the car, Salim wipes blood from his mouth and calls the known person again. He says Uze can no longer be protected. The voice asks whether Amir has the drive. Salim says yes. Voice replies that this may lead Amir toward the old football call and truth about Nas. Salim asks whether that is that night. Amir, Naz, married Sadhu, Laila, and Rami examine the file. Malik waits outside because Amir is not ready to have her in the room. Recording proof, Uzair ordered the fake donation pages and planned the attack at the man. This should be enough for a serious police investigation. However, another file attracts Amir's attention. It concerns a football club that closed several years earlier after a match fixing scandal. Amir's father had worked near the club. Naz recognizes one of the company names in the financial record. It belongs to a business partner of her adoptive father. Photograph shows the father meeting a woman outside the club office. Nas stares at the woman, feels something she cannot explain. On the back of digital scan, a note identifies her by a name. Nas her has never heard. Rami says the woman may have been an accountant who disappeared after scandal. Nas asks why Uze kept the picture in Amir's file rather than hers. Nobody has an answer. Amir begins to suspect that his family Na's birth and Uze's power are connected through events that happened long before they met. Lala opens one file audio. The quality is poor, but two voices can be heard arguing. One man says a young man knows where the missing documents are hidden. The other wants that she has a baby and should be left alone. Third sounds enters the recording, followed by the name of Naz's adoptive father. Naz asks Lala to play it again. Group listen in the silence. The date on the file is close to Nas, but she realizes the woman in the photograph may be her biological mother. Emil tells her they do not yet have enough proof. Nas agrees, but her hands are shaking. She has spent years imagining and many reasons for her adoption. She never considered that it might be connected to criminal secret. Rami says the old club building still exists near the industrial district, though it has been empty for years. Merit suggests searching it. Emil says they should first give copies of Uze's recent crimes to the layer and police. They cannot mix a dangerous personal investigation Hassan's operation. Naz accepts the delay, but she secretly saves the building address. Malak waits until the meeting ends. Amir comes outside carrying the drive. She asks whether the evidence is useful. He says it may help expose Uze, but it also contains secrets none of them understand. Malik tells him about the locked room and Salim's strange behavior. Amir asks why Salim allowed her to leave. She admits that he offered her a deal. Amir says the drive may be another trap. Malik agrees she recorded the conversation so they can study this exact word. Amir thanks her for stopping the attack at the match. She begins to apologize again, but he stops her. He says he cannot discuss forgiveness while Hassan's future is still uncertain. Malik says she will not pressure more dangerous. Amir tells her not to return home alone. She says Uze is watching every familiar place. Rami offers to take her somewhere safe. Amir watches them leave and understands that the fight is changing. People who once understood on opposite sides are being faced by together by larger threat. Hassan is admitted to the hospital the following evening. The operation is scheduled for early morning. His room is crowded with friends and family until a nurse orders most of them outside. Hassan tries to appear cheerful, but when he is alone with Amir, his fear returns. He asks what happens if he wakes up and nothing has changed. Amir says the operation is a chance, not a promise. Whatever happens, they will face it together. Hassan then asks what happens if he does not wake up. Amir becomes angry and tells him not to speak that way. Hassan says he needs one honest conversation. He gives Amir a folded letter and asks him to keep it unless something goes wrong. Amir refuses to take it. Hassan places it inside Amir's jacket anyway. He says coverage does not mean pretending that is impossible. It means choosing life while understanding the risk. Amir finally promises to protect her later. Hassan then makes him promise to attend the football trial. Amir agrees, though leaving the hospital feels almost impossible. Naz visits Hassan after Amir leaves. Hassan tells her that Amir will try to cancel her trial unless he forces him to go. Naz promises to handle it. Hassan smiles and says she already understands Amir better than Malik ever did. Naz asks him not to compare them. Hassan says he is not trying to create romance in a hospital room. He only wants Amir to have someone who can challenge him without trying to control him. Naz become embarrassed and change the subject. Hassan thanks for involving the foundations and saving the operation. Naz says the whole neighborhood save it. Hassan answers that she is a part of neighborhood now, whether she accepts it or not. His words affect her deeply. Since learning the truth about her adoption, she has felt that she belongs. Naz Yankar is difficult, loud, and dangerous, yet it's possible have accepted her through actions rather than family documents. Before leaving, she tells Hassan that when he wakes, they will have new information about Uze. Hassan asks her to wait until he can join the fight. Late that night, Uze enters the hospital wearing a medical mask and plain clothes. One of his contacts has given him Hassan's room number. He does not plan to attack Hassan directly, that would create too much attention. Instead, he wants to frighten him enough to refuse the operation. He enters the rooms after Hassan's mother steps out. Hassan recognizing him immediately. Uze says congratulations and pretends to admire the neighborhood success. Hassan reaches for the call button, but Uze warns that he only wants to talk. He claims the operation has a hidden risk the doctor did not explain. He shows Hassan a false medical paper. Surgeon had faced serious complaints. Hassan tries not to react, yet double doubt enters his mind. Uze says Amir is using the operation to make himself hero. If Hassan dies, Amir's campaign story will become even more powerful. Hassan tells him to leave. Uze leans closer and says Amir always needs someone else suffering to give life meaning. Then it is repaired before the nurse returns. Hassan studies the fast document alone. The information look official. He does not know Uze created it using part of real report from another hospital. Fear grows inside him. When his mother returns, he hides the paper. He wants to ask the doctor, but he worries that operation will be delayed. He also feels ashamed that Uze words affected him before dawn. Hassan and sends Amir's preparing for the football trial immediately returned to the hospital floor. Hassan refuses to explain. He says the risk is too great. Amir notices the corner of paper beneath the blanket and takes it. Doctor quickly confirms it is false. Security cameras are checked, revealing a masked visitor entering the room. Amir knows it was Uze. Hassan admits that what happened and apologizes for believing. Amir says fear does not make him foolish. Uze chooses the cruelest possible moments to attack. Hospital security is increased and the operation will continue. Naz arrives and sees Amir preparing to abandon and the football trial. She looks his path and reminds him of his promise. Amir says Uze enters Hassan's room. He cannot leave now. Naz tells him security and police are present. Uze wants Amir to miss the trial because destroying his dream is another form of victory. Amir says Hassan is more important. Naz agrees, but she explains that friendship is not proved by standing in a hallway when others can protest Hassan. Sometimes friendship means carrying the hope that a frightened friend cannot carry for himself. Hassan's call from the room and ordered Amir to go. Sadhu and Meret's also promise to stay. Amir finally leaves with part of the plan. During the drive, Amir admits that he is terrified. Naz takes his hand for a brief moment and tells him to use the fear on the field instead of allowing it to control him. Football trial takes place in a quiet training center far from the anchor. Amir arrives only minutes before it begins. Kemal is furious but allows him to join. Amir's mind remains at the hospital. He misplaces space passes and reacts slowly. Scout watches without interest during a short break. Amir checks his phone but there is no update. Kemal takes the phone from him and says 1 hour to show whether football still belongs in his life. Amir answers that his best friend is surgery. Kamal says Hassan wanted him there for a reason, playing badly with no protect anyone. Amir closes his eyes and remembers Hassan passing the ball at neighborhood ground when the trial resumes. Has Amir changes, he stops playing to impress the scout and begins playing with same freedom he has as child. His control sharpens, he creates 2 goals and scores one from outside the penalty area. Scout begins taking notes again at the final whistle. Amir does not wait for documents. He takes his phone and runs towards Naz. There is still no message from hospital. They drive back. Amir Sadhu repeatedly. At last, Sadhu answered, but the connection is weak. He says the operation has taken longer and unexpected. Sadhu has not come out. Amir asks whether something went wrong. Sadhu does not know. Naz sees Amir's panic and tells him not to go. Imagine the worst without information. When they reach the hospital, Hassan's mother is crying. Amir thinks Hassan is dead, but she quickly explains that surgeon has finished, hasn't survived, and the first stage appears successful. Tears are from relief. The doctor says they must wait before knowing how much movement Hassan will recover. Amir leans against the wall because his leg suddenly feels weak. Sadhu embarrasses him. Merit asks about the trial. Amir says it no longer matters. Naz receives a message from Kemal saying the club wants Amir to return for a final meeting. She shows him and whole group celebrate quietly so they do not disturb the hospital. Their relief is interrupted when police officers arrive asking for Amir. The arrested man from the charity match has changed his statement. He now claims Amir hired him to place the illegal money as a part of an insurance and donation fraud plan. Till since, but a video has appeared showing Amir meeting the man several days before event. Amir insists he has never seen him before. Leila examines the clip, says it may be edited, but the officers still need a formal statement. Amir agrees to go after seeing Hassan, yet the police says he must come immediately. Naz contacts the lawyer. Sadhu becomes angry and accuses Jose of arguing everything. Once officer warns him, calm down. Amir tells his friend not to create another problem. As he is lead away, he looks through a hospital window and sees Hassan unconscious after surgery. Jose has failed to stop the operation, but he has prepared another attack. The timing is designed to interfere before anyone can enjoy it. At the police station, Amir is shown the full video. It appears to show him giving an envelope to the arrested man outside the warehouse. Face, clothing, and voice all look real. Amir remembers Merit explaining that modern technology can create convincing false images. Amir remembers Merit explaining that modern technology can create convincing false myths. The lawyer demands a technical examination. Police admit that video came from an anonymous source and has not yet technical examination been verified. However, the arrested man knows details about the campaign that were never public. Some close to the group must have supplied them. Amir first suspects Malik, but then remember she prevented the attack. She asked to see the list of people who knew the security plan. Lawyer tells him not to conduct his own investigation during questioning. Amir gives a clear statement, provides a recording from Uze's drive. When police hear Uze ordering the fake campaign attack, the case challenge their actions. Still, the officer cannot release Amir until they confirm the files have been edited. Uze has created 2 sets of digital evidence, each pointing towards a different enemy. Naz returned to the old football club address alone. She tells everyone she is going home, but audio recording has made waiting impossible. The building stands behind a strict gate in an abandoned industrial street. Most windows are broken inside. Old posters and damaged trophies remain beneath years of dust. Naz searches the office. In the photograph, she finds empty cabinets and water-damaged papers. On one wall, a faded team public include Amir's father, Uze's father, Naz's adoptive father, woman who her biological mother. The four of them clearly knew one another. Naz photographs the picture. Then she Hears movements upstairs. She calls Amir, forgetting that his phone has been taking during questioning. No one answered. She sent her location to Marita and continued toward the sounds. Someone has been working inside the abandoned club. Before she can leave, the door closes behind her. Man steps from the shadow. His order with a scar near his eyes. Naz has never seen me, but he knows her name. He says she looks like mother. Naz asks whether the woman in the photograph is her biological mother. The man says her name was Eileen and that she discovered money being moved through the football club. Powerful men used young player false contract and fixed matches to hide illegal payment. Eileen collected evidence, but she disappeared before she could give it to the police. Naz asks whether she is alive. The man says he does not know. He explains that Naz was placed with another family for protection. Her adoptive father was supposed to reveal the truth when the danger ended, but the danger never ended. Uze's father built part of his fortune from that criminal network. Amir's father tried to help Aileen and was punished. Naz asks who the man is. He says his name is Jamal and he once worked with both father. But before he can explain more, glass breaks downstairs. Jamal turns off the lights, pull Naz behind an old cabinet. Two armed men enter the building. They search the lawyer rooms and move upstairs. Sent Jamal whispered that they work for people who have protected the old secret. Naz asks whether Uze sent them. Jamal says Uze is dangerous, but he may not to be more powerful person involved. They escape through narrow maintenance door leading to the roof. Naz nearly falls crossing to the next building, but Jamal catches it. Arm and fire a warning shoot. Merit and Sadhu rise below after receiving Naz's location. They hear the gunshot and call the police. Jamal tells Naz to leave with her friends while he creates a distraction. She refuses because she has too many questions. He gives her a small metal key and says they open a isolation locker containing Island's original record. He warns her not to trust anyone connected to Old Club, including member of her own family. Then they disappear across the roof before the police round the area. Emil is finally released. He learns about Na's trips to the club and becomes furious. He finds her outside the hospital with Sadhu and Merit. He asks why she went alone when they had already agreed to it. Naz says she could not sit quietly after reading her mother was connected to criminal. Amir says she could have been killed. Naz answers he risks life without asking permission almost every day. Amir cannot answer directly. Sadhu and Merit quietly move away. Naz tells Amir she met a man who knew both their families and that old scandal connects them. She shows him the team photograph. Amir's anger changes into shock when he sees his father standing beside Island. Sit in the hospital garden and stare at the picture. Amir remembers his father refusing to speak about the club. He always said football had brought shame to the family. Amir believed that this meant his father had joined corruption. Now he wonders whether his father tried to expose his net, tells him about Jamal, the armed man, and the locker key. Amir says they must give the key to lawyer and police. Nas fears the police may include people connected to old network. Amir understands, especially after seeing how easily false evidence was created against them. They decide to open the locker with Lala, record every step, and send copies to several trusted places. Naz apologizes for going alone. Amir apologizes for speaking as if he controlled her choices. He says he was frightened because she matters to him. Naz asks how much she matters. Amir looks at her, but is interrupted when Hassan's mother runs into the garden. Hassan has awakened and he is asking for them. They enter Hassan's room together. He looks weak but smiles when he sees his friend. The doctor asks him to move his foot. At first, nothing happens. The room becomes completely silent. Hassan closes his eyes and tries to again. One toy moves slightly. It is a tiny movement. Here, his mother begins crying. The doctor warns them that recovery will take time and that one movement does not guarantee a complete result. Hassan does not care for him. It is proof that the operation created a new possibility. Amir tells him the football trial went well. Hassan jokes that they saved Amir's career by forcing him to leave. Sadhu says the campaign has also received more donation than expected. Hassan reminds them of his promises to help another patient. Shramani Merit says they have already asked the lawyer to create a permanent fraud. Their painful struggle may now become spotting for other families. For several minutes, the group feels peaceful. They do not know Uze is standing in a corridor on another floor watching the room through a hacked security camera. Uze receives a call from hidden leader of the old network. The voice says his attack have attracted too much attention. Uze argues that Amir is close being arrested and at Hassan. Make the voice tells him the charity match fake evidence hospital visit were careless. More importantly, Naz has entered the old club and met Jamal. Uze is shocked because Jamal was at the voice orders the recovery station key before Naz opened the locker. Uze asked what the locker contained. The person refused to explain. He decided he will find the files, but he will not itself. Uze has spent years trying to become powerful. Now he sees a chance to rise above everyone, including the people who once protected his family. Malik overhears a part of Uze's call because Rami has placed a listening device inside Salim's car, which Uze is using. She hears the word station key, Naz and Jamal. She immediately calls Amir, but his phone call still off. After the police interview, she calls Naz instead. Naz answers while standing outside Hassan's room. Malik wonders that Uze know about the key. Naz asks how she discovered this. Malik says there is no time to explain. She tells Naz not to go home and not to keep the key. Her bag. Naz looks down and realizes the key is no longer in her pocket. Panicked as she remembers Amir holding her coat during the visit to her son. She runs toward the garden, but Amir is not there. A nurse says he left after receiving a message about his father. Naz calls him, yet his phone remains unreachable. She asks Mary to track Amir's location through campaign security application. Amir had found an envelope inside his jacket shortly after leaving Hassan's room. He assumed it was Hassan's letter, but inside he found the station locker number and note written in his father's handwriting. Note said the truth belonged to both children. Amir did not realize Naz has hidden the metal key in the same pocket. She briefly gave him her coat. He believes someone placed the envelope there at hospital. He goes to the station alone because he fears involving Naz before confirming the message is real. At the locker area, insert the key. The door opens, revealing a small box, old video camera, several documents, baby bracelet carrying Nas, but that Amir understands secret is genuine. Before he can remove the box, the station lights out. Emergency light turn the hall red. Footstep approach from both ends. Amir takes the box and runs, but metal security doors begin closing around him. Nas merits Sato reach the station as an alarm forces passenger outside. They push through the crowd while calling Amir's name. Inside the lock of corridor, Amir finds himself trapped between Uze and two armed men from the old network. Uze tells him to hand over the box. The other men also demand it, provided they are fully working together. Amir realizes the evidence is valuable enough to divide his enemy. He says whoever wants it should first explain why his father's handwriting was inside the locker. Uze says their fathers built the same dirty word, but Amir's father became afraid one tried to escape. One of the armed men ordered Uze to stop talking. This confirmed that network wants to the past hidden even from him. Amir uses their disagreement to move toward an emergency door. Uze attacks one of the men. Fight begins. A gun falls across the door. Amir kicks it beneath a bench and runs with the box. The second man crouches him near the stair, but Sadhu arrives and strikes the attacker with the fire extinguisher. Merritt opens the emergency gate from the control panel while Lance pulls Amir's big throw. Uze chases them but stops when police sirens approach. Before disappearing, he tells Amir that opening the box will destroy for both their families. Amir answered that their families were already destroyed by violence. The group escapes into public station area where cameras and witnesses make another attack. Naz sees the baby bracelet and being crying. Amir gives her box without hesitation. He says the truth belongs to her first. Naz says not refer to the both children, meaning their stories must be connected. They take the evidence to Lala secure office rather than the police station. Every document is photographed and copy. All camera contain a damage recording. Lala works for hours to recover it. Near sunrise, an image finally appears. Island sitting in a small room holding by Naz. Amir's father is behind the camera. Eileen says that if anyone is watching, the people running the football club have discovered her investigation. In the recording, Eileen explained that club has used to move illegal money through player contracts. Uze's father managed the payment while several respected businessmen protected the system. Naz's adoptive father was not one of the original criminals, but he helped hide Eileen after she decided to speak. Amir's father collected documents and planned to take them to pro sector before they could do so. Someone inside their group betrayed them. Islands gave her baby to family she trusted most. She says she hopes Naz will grow up without carrying the fear of her parents. Recording suddenly becomes unstable. A loud noise is heard, followed by Amir's father telling Island they must leave. The final image shows a man entering the room. His face is unclear, but he wears a ring with a black stone. Naz recognizes the same time covering on her adoptive father's hand in an old family photograph. Discovery does not prove he was betrayed, but it creates terrible question. Amber tells us that things can be copied and image can be unclear. She should not decide the truth before confronting her father. Nas says she has defended him with Same excuses for here. Amy reminds her that anger can make incomplete evidence look certain. He learned this through Malik. They agree to invite her father to a control meeting and record the conversation before they can plan it. Lala discovers another hidden file on camera. It contains only a few seconds of audio. A man says island cannot be allowed to reach the pro sector. Another voice answered that baby has already been moved. The first voice belonged to Uza's father, according to Hamid. The second sounds like Jamal. This means Jamal may know much more than he revealed. Naz wondered whether his station key was truly meant to expose the truth or guide them into trap. Every answer creates another question. Their enemies were no longer easy to separate into good and bad sides. Every connected to the old clubs appear to be protecting different part of the past. As morning arrived, our Istanbul Hassan begins the first stage of his recovery. A physiotherapist asks him repeat small movements. Each one causes pain, but Hassan refuses to stop. His mother tells him he has already done enough. Hassan says he spent too much time believing his future had burned on beach. Now he will not waste the chances his community gave him. On the other side, Safe City, and we receive confirmation that football club wants to offer him a trial contract. Nas prepared to confront the man who raised her. Malik wait for Uzak next order while secretly helping Rami collect evidence. It shows Island alive several years after her supposed disappearance. Written beneath it is an address outside Istanbul. Uze now understands that Island may still be alive. He does not tell the old network. Instead, he decides to find her first. She may know where the remaining evidence is, and she may also know who truly betrayed Amir's father. Uze believes this confirmation can give him control. When Amir now Salim and his father, former partner, replace photograph inside his coat and leaves the office. At the same moment, Naz receives an anonymous message containing same address. Message says your mother waited long enough. Naz show it to Amir. They both know it may be a trap, yet another can ignore it. Amir looks toward Hassan's hospital room, then toward the rising sun outside. Their battle was once money, football, control of neighborhood. Now it has become a fight over a secret that shaped their lives. They would enough to speak. They fire on the beach. Did not destroy the future. It uncovered the road to their past, and that road is leading them toward a woman everyone believed had disappeared forever. Altı, Istanbul, in the next episode, begins on the cold and silent shore where Amir, Hassan, Sadhu, and Merit stand in front of terrible sight. The money collected for Hassan operation burning in the darkness, the flame move quickly across the bag, turning the notes into black pieces that rise into fire that leaves. Several seconds, no one speaks. They can only hear the sound of the fire and waves hitting the rocks. Hassan looked at the flame without blinking. That money was not simply a large amount collected by friends and neighbors. It was his chance to receive treatment, regain his strength, and return to the life he once knew. Not that chance seemed to be disappearing in front of him. Uze stands a short distance away with the calm face. He watches the pain of four friends as if he has finally won an important game. He wanted Amir to see that love, friendship, and hard work could be destroyed in seconds. More than anything, Uze wants Amir to lose control and attack him. He knows that if Amir becomes violent, he can use the police, this connection, and his money against him. Uze slowly tells Amir that poor people should never dream too loudly because someone stronger will always remind them of their place. Amir took one step towards him, his hand closely tied. Saru quickly catches his arm while Merit moves in front of him. They understand the trap, even though their ages is almost impossible to control. Amir continues looking at Uze, his face full of rage, but he does not strike him. Instead, Amir says that burning money does not make Uze powerful. It only shows only how frightened he is of people refuse to obey him. Uze laughs and asks that what Amir's plan to do now. Operation money is gone. Hospital deadline is close, so no one will trust them enough to such a large amount again. Amir's collected answer creates a different feeling. It shows that the battle is not finished. Hassan suddenly moves toward the flames. Merit catches him before he reaches the burning bag. Hassan shouts for them to let him go. He believes there may still be not something can save, even though his fire has already destroyed almost everything. Sadhu and Merit pull him back as part of one bag falls. Hassan looks at the black knots on the ground, begins to shake. He tells Amit that everything is over. The doctor gave them limited time and neighborhood already gave more than it can afford. He cannot ask people to selling their belongings again. Hassan replies that friendship cannot create 4 million lira in a few days. Amir places both hands on Hassan's shoulders. He tells him that first campaign also seemed impossible, They began with almost nothing. One person gave a little money, another person affected food, another worked extra job, and soon the whole neighborhood joined them. Hassan says that Uze will destroy every new attempt. Amir answers that this time they will not hide the money inside house. They will not depend on one person or place. Amir turned towards him and promised that Truth will not need permission from Uze. A car horn sounds from the road above the shore. Uze become nervous because lights are moving toward them. Uze decides it's time to leave. Before entering his car, he tells Amir that hope is dangerous because it makes the fall more painful. Amir answered that fear is more dangerous because it makes a man burn billion or million only to feel important for a few minutes. Uze enters the car without replying. His driver quickly moves away from the shore. Amir watches the vehicle disappear into the night. He knows Uze will prepare another move, but at the moment Hassan must come first. Naz has been watching part of the scene from behind an old wall near the road. She followed Amir after noticing his strange behavior earlier at first she did not know what has happening. Then she saw a fire Malik and standing near his car. Naz took out her phone and recorded several short video. Images do not show how Uzi obtained the money, but they clearly show Malik arriving him and speaking to him after the fire started. Naz feels shocked and disappointed. She knew Malik was hurt because Amir ended their relationship, but helping Uzi attack is far beyond a moment of jealousy. Naz remained hidden until Uzi car leave. Naz runs down toward Amir and the others saw the first thing another person approaching to attack them. Ben 10 recognize her. Naz asks whether anyone is injured. Amir says they are physically safe but the money is gone. Naz looks at Hassan and sees that he is barely listening. She then tells Amir that Malik was there. Amir turns toward her sharply. He says Naz must be mistaken. Naz opens the video and shows him coding. Malik's face is partly hidden but there is no doubt about her identity. Amir watches the clip. Pain in his face is different from his anger toward Uze. Uze's enemy saw betrayal expected from him. Malik once knew Amir's deepest fears and dreams. She knew how important Hassan was to him. Her involvement wounds him much more personal way. Sadhu says they should go to Malik immediately, demand an explanation. Merit agrees that she must answer. Stops them. He says they are not thinking clearly. Hassan needs to return home. The hospital must be called. Remaining pieces of money must be collected for evidence. If they go to Malik while they are angry, Uze may use the situation against them. Nas spots immediacy and she says the video should be copied and stored safely. Uze may try to remove evidence later. Merit begins taking photographs, beach, burned bags, and the tire marks left by cars. Friends collect every piece of damaged money they can find. Some notes are only burned around the edges. Others have become Amir become firm. He says Hassan is not allowed to describe his life as a problem. Wanting treatment is not selfish. Wanting to walk without pain is not greed. Hassan says Amir does not understand because he is not the reason everyone is suffering. Amir answered that all four of them have been the reason of trouble at different times. Sadhu once risked everything to save Amir. Married once he hid serious information to protect Sadhu. Hassan has spent years standing between his friend and danger. Friendship cannot work only when the cost is small. Hassan looks away because he knows Amir is right, but the guilt inside him remains strong. When they return to Ziankar, news of the fire has already started spreading. Neighbors saw Uze's car leaving the area called others. People gather outside Hassan homes, even though it late. Some are wearing night clothes, while others have come directly from work. They want to know what happened. Amir places the box of burned notes on the table in front of crowd. Heavy silence falls over the street. An elderly shopkeeper touches one of the black notes and begins crying. He had donated the money he was saving to repair his store. A woman asks whether any of the funds survive. Merit says only a very small amount may be usable, but they will need the bank to examine it. Anger quickly replaces sadness. Several young men say they should march to Uze house. One man suggests breaking his car and business until he returns the money. Another says the police will never punish a rich man unless the neighborhood forces them to act. Amir steps onto a chair so everyone can see him. He tells that Uze wants exactly this response. If the people of Ziankar becomes violent, Uze will appear as victim, while fathers and sons from the neighborhood will spend the night in jail. Operation will still remain unpaid. Amir says their anger is real and justified, but they must turn it into plan rather than a street fight. Some people accuse Amir of being afraid. One young man says Uze burned their money because no one Ivar answered him with same cruelty. Amir accepts the harsh words without becoming angry. He says he is afraid but not of Uze. He is afraid of watching neighborhood destroy itself while Uze sits safely behind guards and lawyers. Amir points toward the box of burn money. He says the fire was meant to divide them. If they begin fighting one another or acting without thought, they will complete Uze's plan for him. The people slowly become quieter. Amir promises that police will receive all available evidence. He also promises that they will begin a new campaign by morning. This time, no cash will be stored inside a house. Donation will enter an official bank account watched by a lawyer and independent people. Every amount will be visible. Every payment will be recorded. Campaign will not belong only to four friends. It will belong to every person who believes that Hassan deserves treatment. A woman in the crowd asks whether they can truly collect the full amount again. Amir admits that he does not know. He cannot promise his success. He can only promise that they will not surrender before trying. Hassan listens from inside the house. His mother sits beside him holding his hand. He says the neighborhood loves him. Hassan replies that love has already cost them too much. He believes he should call the hospital and cancel the operation. His mother looks at him with anger and sadness. She says other people are allowed to decide what they give. Hassan does not have right to reject their love simply because receiving help makes him uncomfortable. Hassan says the operation may fail even if they find the money. His mother answers that life never promises success. People still wake up, work, love, and fight because chance is enough. Hassan asks whether she would forgive him if he refused treatment. She says she would always love him, but she would never forgive the fear that made him surrender. Hassan tells her that she is tired. Every day brings another battle. First they struggle to collect the money, then they worried that the deadline would pass. Now they must begin again because Uze destroyed everything. His mother says tired people are allowed to rest, but they should not confuse rest with giving up. She tells him to sleep for a few hours and let his friends carry the struggle until he can stand emotionally again. Outside, Naz helps Merit copy the beach video to several accounts. She also sent it to lawyer. She trusts Merit studies the clip. Notice Malik speaking to a man near Uze car. The man is Salim of one of Uze's most careful helpers. Naz says Malik may have given them location of money. Only a few people knew where it was hidden. Merit asks whether Amir will be able to think clearly about her involvement. Naz says Amir is hurt, but he showed control at the beach. She believes he understands that Uze may using Malik's emotion. Amir hears them and says Malik made her own choice. Pain may explain her anger, but it does not excuse helping someone attack Hassan. Naz agrees, yet she says fear may now be controlling Malik. In the video, Malik does not look happy when the money bursts. Amir asks whether that changes anything. Naz says it does not remove responsibility, but it may mean Malik knows information that can help them. Amir refuses to speak to her immediately. He says Hassan's hospital situations come first. After that, Malik will have to complete the truth. At Malik's home, the same fire continues being earning inside her mind. She sits on the floor beside her bed, still wearing the cloth from the shore. Her hands smell of smoke, even though she never touches the money. She washes them repeatedly, but the smell seems to remain. When she told Uze where the money was hidden, she believed they would steal it and use it for pressure Amir. She imagined Amir feeling the same helplessness she felt when he ended their relationship. He did not imagine Uze burning everything in front of Hassan. Malik remembers Hassan's face near the flames as she understands that her action did not hurt only Amir, it attacked an innocent man's future, a mother hopes, and a sacrifice of an entire neighborhood. She tries to call Amir but stops before passing the touch button. What can she say? She could not claim she made a small mistake. She cannot pretend she did not know why Uze was dangerous. She worked with him because she was wanted revenge, even if she did not choose the fire. She gave him the information that made it possible. Her phone rings. Uze's name appears on the screen. Malik does not answer. A message arrives. Seconds later, it says should remain that they are partners now. Another message contains a photograph of her house taken from across the street. Malik moves toward the windows but keeps herself hidden behind the curtain. Dark car is parked near the corner. She understands that Uze is watching her. A third message says that if she speaks to Amit, the police will receive evidence showing that entire plan belonged to her. Malik calls Uze and demand that he stop threatening her. Uze calmly stops, says he is protecting both of them. Malik tells him She never agreed to burn the money. Uze replies that she gave him location and allow him to enter Amir's home. She knew he wanted to destroy Amir. Malik says Hassan could lose his operation. Uze answers that Hassan chose the wrong friends. Malik tells him he seeks Uze alarms and says only one dislikes him now because revenge did not feel as beautiful as she imagined. Uze warned her that recorded several conversations. In one recording, Malik says she wants Amir to lose the things he loves most. Uze can make that sentence good if she plan everything. Malik says Amir will not believe him. Uze replies that Amir already saw her at beach. The truth no longer matters when the imagine is powerful enough. He orders her to remain silent and continue to give information. Malik refuses. Uze says refusal is easy when a person does not understand how much he can. He ends the call before she can answer. Malik searches her house because she fears Uze may have placed a listening device inside. She checks beneath tables, behind pictures, and inside lamps. Near the walls beside the sofa, she finds a small electronic object. She does not know whether it is a microphone, but she places it inside a glass jar. She avoids speaking until she carries it several streets away and drops it into public rubbish bin. Then she buys a cheap phone using cash. She decides she needs someone who understands and knows how to move without being watched. Next morning, Amir and the others take Hassan to hospital. Hassan is quiet during the drive. He refuses to look at the message from neighbor offering support at the hospital. Doctor examines him and asks whether the payment has been completed. Amir explains what happened. The doctor is shocked but remains professional. He says the operation date can be held for a short time, but hospital cannot wait forever. Hassan's condition is stable today, yet delaying too long may lower the chance of stage recovery. Nas asked whether the cost can be reduced through charity, government supports, or a medical foundation. The doctor says several programs exist, but they require documents and approval. Emergency support is sometimes possible. When a case receives attention from the hospital board, he gives them the names of two departments and promises write a detailed report. Amir asks for every medical paper, cost, treatment, and scan. He wants the campaign to be completely open so nobody can accuse them of lying. Hassan asks the doctor what will happen if he does not have the operation. Doctor answered honestly, Hassan may continue living with this current limitation, but pain and weakness could become worse. The chance of future improvement may become smaller. Here, Hassan asks whether the operation guarantees that he will ask normally. The doctor says no responsible surgeon can promise that treatment offers a meaningful chance, but recovery will also depend on therapy, patient, and Hassan's body. Outside the hospital, Hassan tells his friend that the answer is clear, they should stop. 4 million lira was already impossible. Once raising it again within days is madness. Sadhu becomes angry and says Hassan does not get to decide how much effort his friends are willing to give. Hassan replies that it is his body and his operation. He will not allow them to risk their lives again. Mero tries to calm both of them, but Hassan's continue. He says Sadhu has a family, Merit has a future, and Amit still has a chance to play professional football. They should not destroy everything to repair his damaged leg. Amir asks Hassan what he would do if their position were changed. Hassan says that is different. Amir asks why Hassan cannot answer. Amir tells him that giving help makes him feel strong while receiving help makes him feel weak. That is the real reason he wants to stop. Hassan says he does not want to become a burden. Amir replies that burden is something carried without love. Nobody is being forced to stand beside Hassan. They are there because he carried them many times. Now steps between them before the argument become more painful. She says they do not need to decide the entire future in the hospital parking area. They need a plan for the next 24 hours. She offers to contact her adoptive father who knows people connected to private hospital foundation. Amir says he does not want Hassan's operation to become part of her family conflict. Naz answers that helping her is choice. Amir has just told Hassan that people are allowed to decide what they give, so he cannot now stop her from offering her connections. Naz calls her father and asks for an argument meeting. Since learning that she was adopted, their relationship has become cold. She is no longer now with childhood memories or surrounded by lies. Her father first says he is busy. Naz tells him a young man may lose his chance to recover because someone burned the money collected for his operation. She does not ask her father to pay everything. She asks him to open doors that remain closed. Not only he agrees to meet late afternoon. After the call, Naz notices Amir watching her. She says he does not need to thank her, which says he knows speaking to her father is difficult. Naz answers that difficulty is not a reason to avoid doing the right thing. Amir smiles slightly and says she could lie, sound like him. Naz says that is a worrying thought their eyes remained connected for a moment longer than necessary. Hassan noticed but says nothing. Even in his sadness, he can see that something is changing between them. Meanwhile, Uze visits a private office near the harbor. Salim waits inside with two men. Salim is older than most of Uze's helpers and far more careful. He manages business that appear legal while hiding other activities. When Uze tells him that he burned the operation money, Salim does not celebrate. He asks why Uze destroyed 4 million lira instead of keeping it. Uze says the money was never the real goal. He wanted Amir to feel powerless. Salim says emotional victories often create political problems. Hundreds of people contributed to the campaign. The fire may bring attention from journalists, police, and charity groups. Uze says fear will keep the neighborhood quiet. Salim replies that Amir has already begun speaking about a second campaign. Uze's face becomes hard. He asks how Salim learned that so quickly. Salim says people are always willing to sell information. Uze ordered him to watch the hospital, neighborhood, and anyone who speaks to Amir. Uze says Hassan is the weakest point in the group. If Hassan loses hope, friendship between four men will begin to break. Amir will blame himself. Sadhu will blame Amir and Merit will try to control a situation that cannot be controlled. Salim asks what Uzet will do if Neighborhood raises the money again. Uze answered that he will destroy the second attempt in a way that also ruins Amir's reputations. He does not want only to take money, he wants people to believe Amir cannot be trusted. Salim suggests creating fast donation page. They can copy the official campaign, change the payment information, still part of the public sport. If money disappears, donors may accuse Amir of fraud. Uze likes the plan. He orders Salim to find people who cannot be connected directly to him. He tells an unknown person that Uze is becoming reckless. Voice on the phone asks whether Amir knows anything about the old football club. Salim says not yet. Voice replies that Uze attack may lead Amir towards secrets that should remain buried. Salim asks whether he should stop him. The person says to watch for now. Sometimes a reckless man can be useful for his distraction. Opens the right door. Salim ends the call and looks toward the harbor. His loyalty to Uze is clearly not complete. Back in the Ankar, Amir gathers his friends inside Merit's small office. Nas brings hospital documents and passport program. Merit open a notebook and begins dividing the work. He says they need an official account, a lawyer, and a secure campaign pages, medical proof, public attention, and an event that can bring larger donations. Sadhuk like a football match. Amir's old reputation as a talented player may attract people, and Hassan's love of football can remain at center of campaign. Now suggests during an turning the match into a full neighborhood event. Local business can afford food, musicians perform, former players can attend, and the whole event can be broadcast online. Every donation should go directly into official account. Hassan says he does not want his praise used to make strangers feel sorry for him. He refuses to sit in front of a camera and cry. Now tell him that they will not present him as helpless. They will show him as a young man fighting for fair medical chance. Merit says Hassan should speak in his own words. People can recognize fake emotion. Hassan does not need to act, he only needs to explain what happened and why the operation mattered. Sadhu suggests calling the event Hassan will walk again. Hassan immediately rejects the name because the operation does not offer a guarantee. Amir asks Hassan to choose something honest. After a long silence, Hassan says one more step. The room becomes quiet. The names describe both the physical hope of working and emotional choice to continue. By the noon, the football ground is full of volunteers. Children collect rubbish from beneath the seat. Shopkeeper bring paint. Electrician check the broken light. Builder examine the weak entrance gate. Women from several street plan food stalls. Local tailor effort to create shirts carrying the words one more step. Nobody waits for payment. People work because the burned money felt like an attack on all of them. Hassan arrives and watches from the edge of the field. Part of him feels hopeful, but another part feels guilty. Old man carrying wooden boards greets him and say Hassan once repaired his shop door without asking for money. Bakery owner reminds him that he carried food to her family when her husband was ill. A young boy says Hassan taught him how to kick a football. These simple memories show Hassan that neighborhood is not helping a stranger. People are returning kindness he gives without keeping records. Amir approaches Hassan and asks what he thinks for the event's name on the first painted sign. Hassan says the letters are too large. Amir laughs and says Sadhu and some large enough for Uze to read from his mention. Hassan smiles for the first time since the beat. The smile disappears quickly, but Amir notices it. Hope has not returned fully, yet the door is no longer completely closed. Na's visit her adoptive father is a quiet restaurant. He looks tired and nervous. He asks how she is feeling after hearing the truth about her birth. Na says they are not meeting to discuss feelings. She places as a medical document on the table, explains the hospital deadline. Her father reads the report carefully. He says he knows the member of the hospital board and director of the medical foundation. He can arrange meeting, but he cannot promise that they will pay full cost. Na says she is not asking him to purchase her forgiveness. She wants him to use his influence for something useful. Her father is hurt by her words but does not argue. He promises to call the hospital board that day. Then is asked whether Amir is the reason she is so involved. Na says Hassan is the reason. Her father warns that Amir's life surrounded by danger. Na's answer that danger existed inside her own home for years in the form of hidden truth. Meeting Amir did not create it. Before leaving, Naz asks whether anyone connected to Uze knows the truth about her adoption. Father expression changes. He says that matter are separate. Naz immediately knows he is hiding something. She asks again. He refuses to answer in a public place. After more pressure, he admits that Uze's family once had business dealing with people connected to Naz's biological mother. Naz asks what kind of dealing. Her father says he does not know enough to explain safely. Naz excuses him of using the word later to hide every difficult truth. Her father says some secrets were kept to protect her. Naz replies that protection without choice becomes control. She leaves the restaurant with promise of a hospital meeting but also a new fear. Uze may know something about her but his interest in her and Amir may not be based only on their conflict. Amir visits his former football coach Kemal. Kemal asks whether the campaign is real or another dramatic plan created by people who refuse to follow rules. Amir shows his police complaint about the burned money, the beach photographs, and the football hospital estimate. Kemal studies everything. He says will contact two former players and sports reporter, but he will not promise they will attend. Amir thanks him and prepares to leave. On his way home, Amir passes the neighborhood ground. Group of children playing with an old ball. They call him and ask him to join for a few minutes. Amir first refuses because he has work to do. Then the ball rolls towards him. He controls it naturally and sends it back. The children see soon he is playing among them, moving around broken patches of ground as if no time has passed. Naz watches from entrance. She sees a different Amir. He is not fighting, planning, or protecting something. He simply free when the children leave. She asks why he stopped chasing football. Amir says he never truly stopped. Life kept placing wall in front of him. Naz replies that wall do not always mean a road has ended. Sometimes those show where a person must climb. Amir asks when she became a coach. Naz says she learned by watching stubborn man who believes every problem can solve by carrying it alone. Amir knows she is speaking about him. He says she also went to her father alone. Naz answered that asking for help is not same as surrendering control. Amir says she should remember that advice when investigating her family. Naz looks away. She has not told him everything her father revealed about Uze. Their conversation moved towards Malik. Naz tells Amir that she visited Malik's sister Treat but did not speak to her. Amir asks why. Naz says she noticed a dark car watching the house. She believes Uze may be threatening Malik. Amir says Malik still chooses to help him. Naz agrees. She does not ask Amir to forgive her. She only says frightened person may make another mistake unless someone creates a safe path towards the truth. Amir says he does not know whether he can listen to Malik without remembering the fire. Nas tells him he does not need to forgive before hearing what she knows. Truth and forgiveness are different steps. Amir studies Nas' face and asks why she cares about protecting Malik. Nas says she is protecting the investigation. Malik may know how Uze found the money and what he plans next. Their hands touch when they both reach for the football. Neither pulls away immediately. Amir looks at Nas and noise of neighborhood seems to become softer. Before either speaks, Sadhu runs down to the field carrying papers, announced that the council rejected their event request. The official reason is that ground has not safety standard for a large crowd. Sadhu says Uze must have influenced the decision because someone complained before application was fully reviewed. Uze may have pushed the complaint, but attacking the council will not solve them. Hassan says they should move the event to another ground. Mary disagrees. The heart of the campaign is the anchor. Nas proposes fixing every listed issue and hiring an independent safety report. If the ground passes a professional inspection, the council will have less room to refuse. Amir agrees. They return to the volunteer with the new list. Instead of becoming discouraged, the neighborhood work harder. Electrician brings two relatives to help. Builders repair the emergency exit. Nearby clinic agrees to provide medical worker if they can arrange ambulance. Nas calls her father and asks him to help that new problem. He uses one of his contacts to secure a vehicle for the event. The speed of the response surprises son. He begins to see that campaign is becoming more organized than the first attempt. Merit contact a university student named Lala to build the online donation page. Lala studies computer security, has helped local group before. She tells Merit that fake pages may appear as soon as the campaign becomes popular. They must use a verified address, strong passwords, and public warning. Merit jokes that computers are easier than people because they show clear error. Lala says machines only repeat the intention of people controlling them. While creating the unfinished page, Lala noticed several attempts to access it. The web address has not been shared publicly. Someone already knows what they are building. She asked Mary to receive the campaign details. Merit list Amir Hassan Sadhu Nas, several volunteers, lawyers, and two hospital workers. Lala says the leak may not come from one person. Uzesh could be watching their phones or message. Lala changes the security system, tells Mary to stop discussing plan through ordinary application. She traces one access attempt to company near the harbor. Merritt recognized the area as the place where Uzim often meets Salim. He decided to investigate the company later. Lala warns him not to act alone. Merritt promised, though he already knows he may break the promise. Rami Malik uses her chief phone to contact Rami. She trusts him only slightly, but he has dealt with Uze and survived. Rami first ignores the unknown number after she sends a short message saying Hassan's operation is in danger. He agrees to meet at abandoned workshop. Malik arrives wearing a hood and checking the street repeatedly. Rami listens as she explains the beach recording and uses that he does not comfort her. He tells her clearly that she created the opening Uze used. Malik says she knows. She asks how she can escape. Rami says she must first stop protecting her own image. Amir may hate her. Hassan may never forgive her. She must still tell the truth because repairing damage is more important than appearing innocent. Malik says words will not be enough. Rami agrees. Uze stores recording, photographs, and documents in a locked room inside his harbor office. If they obtain proof of his plan, Malik's statement may become useful. She asks Rami to help her enter. He refuses at first. He does not want to begin another way with Uze. Malik remains hints that war has already begun. Uze will continue using anyone whose weakness he knows. Rami finally agrees to watch the office and find an access card. He tells Malik that evidence will not remove her responsibility. She says she is not asking to become innocent. She only wants to stop next attack. Unknown to them, one of Salim's men matches the workshop from a parked motorbike. He photographs Malik leaving but sends the image only to Salim, not to Zoo. Salim studies the photograph, decides to keep it private. Malik's fear may become useful if she turns against Jose. Salim can guide her towards selected evidence. He wants Jose removed, but he so wants the larger criminal network protected. He begins preparing a drive containing through information to damage Uze without revealing every secret. At Hassan's own campaign team prepare to record the first video. Hassan sits in front of the camera with a written speech. He reads two lines, stops, and says the words sound false. The paper describes him as helpless victim. He throws it aside. Lala keeps the camera running, asks him to speak as if only Amir and Merit are listening. Hassan takes long breath. He says he grew up in a place where people learned early that talented do not always create equal chances. On accident, one hospital bill or one powerful enemy can change a whole life. He explained that he wants operation because he still his plans. He wants to walk without constant pain, work normally, and return to football field, even if only for friendly game. Hassan then promised that any money remaining after his treatment will be used for another patient. The campaign should not end with him. If neighborhood can build one medical chance, it can build more. His voice becomes stronger as he speaks. When he finishes, everyone in the room silent. Amir says, "Do not need another recording." Within our campaign gains attention outside Istanbul. Message arrive from people living in other countries. Some say they grew up in neighborhood like the anchor. Others are share stories about relatives who could not afford treatment. Hassan realized that his personal struggle is touching a larger pain. Campaign becomes fairness, community, and the cost of health care. Then Leila finds a fast fake donation page. It uses the same photograph, video names, and only the bank detail are different. Hundreds of people have already visited She reports the account, but another copy appears. Mary understands that Uze's digital attack has begun. Instead of fighting the problem, Lala posts a clear warning showing the only official address. Amy records a short message telling people to check the verify page before donating. Several public figures shared the warning. Fake pages are removed one by one, but new versions continue operating. This evidence may later prove that attack was planned. Uze watches the campaign total rise from his office. He becomes angry when the fake pages fail to cause damage. Salim says technical team is stronger than expected. Uze orders him to frighten Lala. Salim says harming a university student during a medical campaign would create trouble publicly. Uze accuses him of becoming weak. Salim calmly replies that strategy is not weakness. Uze throws a glass against the wall. He says the neighborhood has turned the victory into public movements. The journalist will publish a story claiming that one money never existed and Amir created the beach scene to attract donation. Uze provided a photograph and false message. He also ordered the journalist to question Hassan's medical report and pass. The goal is not to prove fraud completely, it is to create enough doubt that donation slows down. Uze knows accusation travel faster than correction. The false article appears to next morning. Headlines ask whether the one more step campaign is a fraud. It describes Amir as a violent young man with police problem. It suggests Hassan is being used as an actor. It claims the operation cost is unclear. The article contains no reliable proof. Thousands of people read it. Donation slows almost immediately. Cruel moments appear beneath Hassan's video. Some people call him a liar. Others demand that he show his body scans and private medical information. Hassan reads the comment before Medic can stop him. The word hurt more than he expected. Amir wants to go to journalist office. Lala and Nas stops him. Nas contacts the lawyer who prepare a legal response. They publish the hospital report, official cost document, police complaint, confirmation from doctor. Hospital agrees to release a short statement. Their response remains calm and factual. The journalist refuses to remove the article but adds a small update. Correction does not travel as widely as accusation. Nas asks several respected reporters to examine the story. One discovered that photographs were edited, another find business connection between the original journalist and company linked to the public opinion begins changing again. Hassan tells Amir that she is what he feared. Their private pain has become entertainment. Amir apologizes for pushing him into campaign. Hassan says he chooses to record the video, but he was not prepared for people to call him a criminal. Amir explained that Uze uses shame because it makes victim hide. If Hassan disappears now, false story will become stranger. Hassan asks how long they can answer every lie. Amir says they do not have to answer every person. They only need to protect the truth and continue their work. Hassan look at the campaign total. It is still far below the target. He says the charity match may be their final chance. Amir agrees, but he asks Hassan to stop blaming herself for Uze's choice. The independent safety expert completes the inspection football ground thanks to the neighborhood repairs. Almost every problem has been solved. The council approves the event when the news. The idea of scout creates pressure. Amir has not trained properly in months. Early the next morning, he goes ground alone. He begins running and practicing with the ball. His first movements are heavy. He loses control and becomes frustrated. Slowly, his body members, the ball begins responding to his speed as it once did. Sadhu arrives with tea and makes fun of Hamid for training secretly. Merritt joins them for several minutes. Three friends talk about childhood matches instead of enemies and hospital visits. They remember using stones as goal posts or running from angry neighbors after breaking windows. Hassan watches from the side. Amir gently passes the ball towards him. Hassan stops it with his stronger foot. The movement causes discomfort, but he hides it. He returns the pass. Amir sends it back slowly. The continues like this. Without speaking, it is not a real match, yet it reminds Hassan that he remains part of the team. His body has changed, but his place among his friends has not. Naz arrived with news from Hospital Foundation. Her father arranged the meeting and the board has agreed to review Hassan's case as an emergency. If approved, the foundation may cover more than half of cooperation costs. However, the campaign must prove it can pay the remaining amount. The match is still essential. Hassan thanks Naz and Naz. Amy noticed that she looks worried even while she sharing good news. She finally tells him about the connection between Uze's family and her biological mother. Amir asks whether Uze may know who her real parents are. Naz says she fears that he does. He has spent years believing her adoption was private family secret. Now it may be part of something larger. Amir offered to help investigate. Naz says Hassan must come first. Amir answered that Uze has connected all their lives. Understanding Naz's past may reveal why he has so much power and why he is attacking them with personal hatred. Nazi admits he is frightened by what they may discover. Amir says truth can hurt but uncertainly gives other people control. Malik and Rami begins their plan at the harbor office. Rami obtains an old access card from a former worker. He walked outside with the motorbike with Malik entered through a side door. She has 10 minutes to search the locked room and leave. The building seems empty, but every sound makes her nervous. The access card opens the main office. The evidence from require a code. Malik tries several numbers connected to Uza without success. Then she remembers a date he once mentioned, the day his father lost an important company. The code works inside Chief's shelves are filled with cheap phone, hard drives, envelopes, and photographs. Malik's find a file carrying her name. It contained private information about her family, daily routine, weakness, past relationship with Amir. Uze had been studying her long before she offered to help him. He did not simply accept her anger, he prepared to use it. Malik feels sick when she is noticed. Describe how jealousy could be turned into cooperation. She photographed everything. Another file carries Amir's name. It includes report about his football past, his father, and old club that closed. After a corruption scandal, before Malik can read more footstep approach, he hides behind a cabinet. Salim enters the room and tells her to come out. Malik expects him to call Uze. He closes the door. He says he knew that she would eventually search the office. Malik asks whether he plans to stop her. Salim replies that Uze is becoming dangerous. Travery and powerful partners are tired of the emotional action. Salim gives us a small drive containing selected recording and financial file. He says it can help her prove that Uze ordered campaign attack. In return, he wants information about Amir's plan. Malik refuses to betray Amir again. Salim reminds her that she already has. Malik takes the drive but secretly records their conversation on her cheap phone. Salim allows her to leave because he believes fear will bring her back. Malik reaches Rami and they drive away. She explains what happened. Rami says the drive may contain tracking software. They cannot open it on an ordinary computer. He takes it to Laila while Malik remains outside the campaign office. Laila uses an isolated machine. Drive contain recording of Uze ordering fake donation pages, instruction to ask the hospital, and discussion about disrupting the charity match. It also includes the old file connected to the football club. Lala asks Rami where he found it. His weak answer does not convince her. Lala realizes Malik is involved. She says Amy deserves to know. Rami replies that they first need to secure copies. One honest action will ensure Malik betrayal, but the evidence may stop another attack. Layla saves the file in several protected places and sends one copy to the lawyer. The day of charity match finally arrives. The uncovered wakes before sunrise. Sign hang from balconies. Food stalls line the street. Children wear one more step. Shared volunteer jackets. Emergency exits and donation points. Official account is delayed everywhere. No cash is accepted without a respite and to witness. Hassan arrives in a decorated car with his mother. He complains that decoration makes him look like someone getting married. Sadhu says the neighborhood needed happiness, so Hassan should stop arguing. The joke creates laughter for the first time since the fire. Hassan allows himself to enjoy the moment. Amir wears his old football boots. Kemal tells him that the visiting scout will watch how he plays under pressure. Amir says he is not there for a contact. Kemal answers that scout will decide why he came. Hassan calls Amir over and tells him to play seriously. He says refusing an opportunity will not make Hassan's operation more successful. Naz manages the press, will Merit and Lala control the online broadcast. Sadhu joins Amir on the neighborhood team. Former players agree to play short period both sides. The crowd fills every approved seat. 100 remain outside art screens from a black car on a hill. Uze watches the event. Salim sits behind him. Uze explains the plan. First, the electricity will fall during the most exciting part of the match. Then the broadcast link will be replaced by a fake donation page. During the campaign, another man will hide robbery money inside the campaign office. Police will receive an anonymous report accusing Amir of fraud. Salim says the plan has too many moving parts. Uze answered that destruction should look natural. He wants the event to succeed long enough for hope to rise. Then he wants everything to collapse publicly. Salim secretly sent a message to one of his own men ordering him to delay the police report. He does not want Uze to win completely. The match begins with loud cheers. Amir is nervous. He loses the ball twice and makes a poor pass. Kemal watches silently. The scout takes note. Hassan shouts from slide. telling Amir to stop playing like a frightened child. The familiar insult makes Amir smile. Amir begins finding his rhythm. He moves past defender and creates the first goal for Sadhu. The crowd explodes with joy. Sadhu celebrates as if he has scored in world final. Merit shouts from the broadcast room that nobody will survive Sadhu's stories after today. Online donation rise. Large company announced that it will match every donation received during the next 30 minutes. Hassan stares at total, unable to believe how quickly it moves. Uze sees the announcement and order is meant to begin the attack. One false volunteer enters the electrical room and all electrician from the neighborhood notice that he does not belong there. Electrician asks for his identification. The man attacks him and reaches for the main switch. Two workers hear the struggle and stop him before he cuts the power. At the broadcast room, Lala sees an attempt to replace the official donation link. She locks the system and traces the attack to device inside the building. Merritt finds another false volunteer near the stair. The man pulls a knife. Lala activates the security alarm and trained volunteers surround him. Most people in the crowd do not know what is happening. The match continues. Amir scores after a quick pass from one of former players. Instead of celebrating alone, he runs toward Hassan and points at him. The whole team follows the image, spreads online, bringing another wave of donation. The final attacker carries a bag of illegal cash toward the campaign office. Malik has entered the event secretly because she plans to give evidence. Amir, she recognizes the man from the harbor office. She follows him and calls Rami. Rami warns Naz, who contacts security and the lawyer. They stop the man before he can hide the bag. He tries to escape through a side exit. Malik books a block his path. He pushes her to ground and runs toward the field. Amir sees Malik fail and chases the man. He catches him near the outer gate. Police officer stationed at the event arrest the attacker. The bag contained money connected to a recent robbery. Had it been found inside the campaign office, the entire charity operation could have been closed. Amir turns toward Malik. Anger returns immediately. He asks why she is there. Malik gives him the drive and says it contains evidence against Uze. Amir refuses to take it at first. He asks whether evidence can return the money or removes Hassan's fear. Malik says no, nothing can do under what she did. She admits that she gave Uze location because she wanted to hurt Amir. She believed he would steal the money. No, but Amir says stealing it would still have destroyed Hassan's treatment. Malik lawyer her head and accept the truth. She does not ask for forgiveness. She only says Uze is preparing larger attack and keeps file on all of them. Nas confirms that Malik helped stop the illegal money trap. Amy takes the drive but tells Malik that one good choice cannot erase betrayal. Malik says she understands she will continue helping even if he never forgives her. The match resumes after the rush. Organizers announce that an attempt to interfere with the event was stopped. They explain that all donations remain protected. Public sports become stronger because people see how carefully the campaign is managed. The company extended its donation matching offer. Famous player watching online makes a large contribution. Nas receive a call from Hospital Foundation confirming that it will cover more than half of the operation. The remaining target is now within reach. Near the final whistle, Lala places the total on the large screen. The number passes the amount needed for Hassan's treatment for 1 second. Entire grounds become silent. Then the neighborhood erupts. Hassan covers his face. His mother embarrasses him. Sadhu tries to lift Merit and nearly drops him. Amy stands in the middle of the field. Unable to speak, he looks at the people who repaired the ground, shared the video, cooked food, guarded the doors, and donated small amounts. Uze burned 4 million lira to prove that money controlled everything. The anchor answered by proving that people could rebuild with cruelty destroyed. Kimal approaches Amir after the celebration. Scout wants Amir to attend a private trial. The date is the morning after Hassan's operation. Amir immediately refuses because he planned to remain at the hospital. Hassan hears him and becomes angry. Hassan says campaign was called one more step, yet Amir is afraid to take his own. Amir says friendship matter more than football. Hassan replies that real friendship should not require some to buy a dream. His mother Sadhu married Naz and the whole neighborhood will be at hospital. Amir still hesitates. Hassan jokes if the operation failed because Amir is not sitting in the waiting room, he will personally blame the doctor. The group laughs. Amir finally agrees to attend the trial and retires immediately afterward. From the hill, Uze watches the celebration. Every part of his plan failed. They take pages were exposed. The article lost credibility. His men were arrested. The campaign reaches court. Malik openly moved against him. He blames Salim. The voice replies that the drive may lead Amir toward the old football clubs and Nas true history. Salim asks whether that is dangerous. The voice says it is necessary. Some secrets can only be protected by allowing the wrong people to discover part of them. Another file attracts Amir's attention. It concerns a football club that closed years earlier after a match fixing scandal. Amir's father worked near the club. Nas recognizes a company name belonging to one of her adoptive father. Former partners. Lala opens an old audio file. Two men arguing. One says a young man who knows her missing Amir thanks her for stopping the attack, but he says forgiveness is not possible yet. Malik replies that she is not asking for it. Rami takes her to safe location because Uze is still watching her home. Hassan enters the hospital the next evening. His room is crowded until unrushed. Order most visitors outside when he is alone with Amir. His fear becomes visible. Hassan asks what happens if he wakes and nothing has changed. A photograph shows Uze's father, Amir's father, Naz, adoptive father, and a young woman standing outside the club. Naz has never seen the woman, but something about her face feels familiar. A note identifies her as Aylan. Hassan entered the hospital next. Late that night, Uze entered the hospital wearing plain clothes and a medical mask. He uses the contact to learn Hassan's room number. He does not plan to attack Hassan physically. He wants to frighten him into surgery. Amir says fear does not make him foolish. Uze chooses the cruelest moment to attack. Security is increased and Hassan agrees to continue. Naz arrive and find Amir preparing to abandon the football trial. At the final whistle, Amir does not wait for comments. He takes his spoon and runs toward Naz. There is no hospital update. They drive back quickly. Sadhu finally answers and says the operation is taking longer expected. During this time, Naz secretly visits the abandoned football club. Inside, she finds a faded team photograph showing Amir's father, Uzu's father, adoptive father, and island fresh footprints lead upstairs. Jamal says Naz was given to another family for protection before he can explain more. Arm and enter the building. He helps Naz escape through a roof passage. Merit and Sadhu arrives after reaching her location. They enter Hassan's rooms after he wakes. The doctor asks Hassan to move his foot. At first, nothing happened. One toy moves slightly. It is a teeny sign, but everyone begins crying. Amir finds the key together with the note written in his father's handwriting. The note says the truth belongs to the both children. He goes to stations, open the locker. Amir warns her not to decide the truth from an unclear image. They need to confront her father that and find Jamal again. Naz agrees, but her trust in family is breaking further. While Hassan begins painful recovery exercise, Amir receives confirmation that professional club is interested in Malik continues secretly working against Uze. Salim prepares to betray both Uze and Hidden Network. At the same moment, Naz receives an anonymous message containing the same address. The message says your mother has waited long enough. She shows it to Amir. They both understand that address may be a trap. However, neither of them can ignore it. Their battle is no longer only about Hassan's Operation Amir's football future or control of Ziyankar. It is now connected to a secret that began before they were old enough to understand the world. Fire on the shore was meant to destroy their hope. Instead, it revealed a path leading into a past. At the end of the section, Amir and Naz stand outside the hospital while Istanbul wakes around. Hassan is alive. Operation has given him a chance. The neighborhood has defeated Uz's first major attack. Yet a much more dangerous journey is beginning because somewhere outside the city, a woman everyone believe had disappeared and may be waiting with the truth that can destroy several families. Altı, Üstü, Istanbul in the next episode continues outside the hospital while the city slowly wakes. Amir and Naz stand beneath a pale morning sky looking at the anonymous message on Naz's phone. The message contains an address outside Istanbul and one short sentence saying that Naz's mother has waited long enough. Neither of them speaks for several seconds. Message could be real or it could be another trap created by Uzi after everything that happened at the same station. They know every new piece of information may be designed to control them. Still, the possibility that Alan is alive too important to ignore. Naz read the message again. She checks the number, but it is hidden. There is no profile picture name. Previous conversation. Amy tells her not to answer until Ella examines it. Naz asks how long they are supposed to wait. Her biological mother may have spent years hiding from people who destroy her life. Amit says rushing towards an unknown address will not help Island if they are captured before reaching her. Naz knows he's right, but patience feels impossible. For most of her life, she did not even know her mother's name. Now and address may be the only thing separating them. They return to the marriage office where Lala is still working within the documents from the station locker. Sadhu sleeps in a chair while Marriott is rests with his head beside a computer. Lala examined the message and confirmed that it passed through several temporary systems who sent it understood how to hide their location. However, the final signal appears to have come from a small town near the Black Sea coast. Address belongs to an old farmhouse outside the town. According to the public records, the house has been empty for nearly 10 years. Nas asks whether Island could be living there without using her own name. Lala says it is possible, especially if someone is protecting her. Amir wants to inform the liar and a trusted police officer before leaving. Nas worries that the old criminal network may have people inside the police. The armed men at the London club arrived too quickly. Someone may have followed her movement through official system. Merit wakes during the argument and says they should share the address with only one person who acts if they despair. Before they leave, Amir visits Hassan. Hassan is awake and trying to hide his pain from the nurse. The smallest exercise leave him exhausted. Amir explains that he and Naz may have found island. Hassan first thinks Amir is joking, but then he sees seriousness in his face. He tells Amir to go. Amir says he does not like leaving Hassan so soon after self-operation. Hassan reminds him that there are nurses, doctors, family members, Sadhu, and half the neighborhood outside his room. He says Amir is no longer the only person allowed to protect everyone. Hassan also asks Amir about the professional club. Amir admits that the clubs want some final meeting later that day. Hassan becomes angry when he hears Amir plans to miss it. He says the journey to the farmhouse will take hours and asks can delay it until after the meeting. Amir asks that Island may be in danger. Hassan answered that Island survive for a year. One additional hour will not decide everything. Well, the football opportunity may never return. Amir tells him that people are trying to kill them over the old evidence. Hassan says that is exactly why Amir needs a future beyond and less fight. Naz enters the room and spots Hassan. She tells Amir they can stop at the training center first because it lies near the road they must take. Amir accuses them of planning together. Hassan smiles and says forcing Amir to protect his own dream has become community project. Amir finally agrees, although he looks unhappy. Hassan reaches for his hand, tells him not to play with guilt. He should enter the meeting as football player, not as man apologizing for wanting something. On the other side of Istanbul, Uze sits in Salim's office with the photograph of Aylan on the table, the address written beneath is all, but Uze believes it still matters. He orders Salim to send men to the farmhouse. Salim says, moving too quickly, may warn whoever is protecting Aylan. Uze replies that Amir and Nas probably received the same address. He wants them follow, not stop. If they leads him to Aylan, he can take control of the remaining evidence. Salim asks what Uze plans to do with Aylan. Uze says that depends on what she knows. If she can prove who betrayed the old group, she become valuable. If she refuses to cooperate, she become dangerous. Salim warns that harming Nas' biological mother will turn the whole city against him. Uze looks at him coldly and says public opinion means nothing if the right people remain frightened. Salim does not argue further, but he secretly sends the message to Jamal warning him that Uze has the address. Jamal received the warning while sitting inside a small fishing boat near the coast. He wrote the message, destroy the phone card and looks toward the distant land. For years he has moved from place to place protecting information that could destroy a powerful family. He knows island location, but he has not seen for several months. Their arrangement required distance. Now the old system is breaking. Naz has entered the story. Amir has found the camera, and Uze is moving without control. Amir and Naz leaves the hospital in Naz's car. Silence between them feels uncomfortable at first. Both are thinking about the recording of Island and the dangers ahead. Naz asks Amir what he remember about his father work at football club. Amir says very little. His father rarely discussed it. When Amir was a child, he once found a club. Amir asks whether Na's life felt normal before learning about the adoption. She says it looks normal from outside. She had a comfortable home, education, and opportunities, yet she always felt that some remains inside the family were close to her. Conversation stopped when she entered. Did photograph disappear? Her father answered simple question with long explanation that did not make sense. She thought every family carried plain silence. Now she knows those silences were built around her. They arrive at professional training center shortly before the meeting. Amy refuses to enter until Nas promises not to leave for farmhouse without him. Nas says she is not that careless. Amy reminds her that she visited an abandoned criminal club alone. Nas answered that she had learned from mistake. Amir says he hopes so and walk inside. Kemal waits beside the manager of second division football club. The manager Tank is direct and serious. He says Amir showed talent at trial, but talent is not the only issue. The club research his history. Amir has missed opportunities, become involved in public fights, and attracted attention from police. Even if some accusations were false, the club cannot ignore the risk. Amir says he understands. Tariq asks whether he can play football ahead of neighborhood conflict. Amir answers honestly, he cannot promise to ignore friends or family when they are in danger. Tariq says the club is not asking him to become selfish, it is asking whether he can follow training rules, travel schedules, and team discipline. Professional player cannot disappear whenever life becomes difficult. Amir thinks about Hassan's operation, Na's mother, Uz's attacks, and neighborhood that depends on him. He says his life will not become simple because he signs the contract, but he is all ready to stop using difficulty as an accused. Tariq offers him a 3 month trial contract. Amir will train with senior team but may play with reserves acquired at first. The payment is not large yet it is enough to help his family. If he proves himself, the agreement can become permanent. Kemal watches Amir carefully, expecting him to find a reason to refuse. Amir reads by contracting, asks for time to let for liar review it. Tariq agrees but says he needs an answer by the next morning. Before Amir leaves, Tariq says the club saw the charity match. Amir shows leadership and skill, but he also left the field during security trouble. Tariq understands the reason, yet he warns that Amir cannot fight every battle personally. A captain does not protect the team by running after every enemy. Sometimes he protects people by remaining in position. Amir recognizes the lesson. It is the same message Hassan Naz and his friends keep giving him outside Naz. Ask what happened. Amir tells her about the officer. Offer she smiles with real happiness, but Amir says they should not celebrate before the lawyer checks the contract. Naz says caution is wise, but he is allowed to feel proud. Amir asks whether she would still say that if football takes him away from the anchor. Naz replied that a dream is not betrayal. If he succeeds, he may create new chances from many people. Amir jokes that she has started speaking like Hassan. Naz says Hassan has been giving sensible advice since the operation, which is worrying for everyone. They continue toward the coast. Merit calls and says Lala found something important inside the document. A payment record from old football club shows regular transfer to a company named North Star Health Services. The company claimed to provide medical care for young players, but no such clinic exists. The owner has Haluk Adam, a businessman known publicly for charity work. Naz recognizes the name. Haluk was one of her adoptive father's closest friend during her childhood. Naz remember Haluk visiting their home on birthdays and holidays. He gave her expensive gift and often asked questions about school, friends, and travel. At the time, he saw him as a kind uncle. Now, those questions feel different. Amir asks whether Haluk wore a ring with a black stone. Naz thinks for a moment and says yes. He almost always wore one. The figure Antique Island's room in the old recording may not have been Naz's father, it may have been Haluk. Merritt sent them photograph of Haluk from a recent charity event. The black ring is clearly visible. Amy tells Naz not to contact him. If Haluk being too old network, he may clearly already know they found the station locker. Naz wonders when her adoptive father remained close to him because he was frightened or because he was part of the crimes. Amir says they cannot answer that without evidence. At this hospital, Hassan began a difficulty therapy session. The physiotherapist Daria asks him to lift with his foot slightly from bed. Hassan tries but cannot. He becomes angry with his body. The movement of the one toy after surgery gave everyone hope. Yet now even the smallest command seems impossible. Daria tells him recovery does not move in a straight line. Some days will feel successful, while others may feel like he has moved backward. Hassan says people donated million because they believe he would walk. Daria corrects him. People donated so he could receive a chance. He does not owe anyone to perfect recovery. Hassan replies that sacrifice savings times and safety. He must show that it was worth something. Daria asks whether he believes a person's value depends on what their legs can do. Hassan says no, but his voice lacks confidence. Daria tells him first task is not working, it is learning to work without hating himself. Sadhu watches from the doorway. He wants to encourage Hassan but understands that jokes may not help. After the session, Hassan asks whether Amir went to football meeting. Sadhu says yes. Hassan looked relieved. He then asks about campaign money left after the hospital payment. Sadhu explained that lawyer is creating a legal fund just as Hassan requested. The first new payments may be a young girl needing heart treatment. Hassan asks to meet her family when he is stronger. As Sadhu tells Hassan to focus on his own recovery, Hassan says helping someone else will remind him that fire did not win. Uze burned his first money to make everyone feel helpless. If we rebuild campaign support more than one patient, Uze equality will create opposite result. The small jokes help both of them breathe more easily. Malik remained in a safe apartment arranged by Rami. She disliked being hidden and asked how long she must stay there. Rami says until they know whether Uze plans to arrest, kidnap, or publicly destroy her. Malik says hiding makes her feel like a criminal. Rami replies that feeling is not completely wrong. She helped create her first crime. Malik become angry, but Rami says he will not protect her with lies. If she wants a different life, she must accept what she did without allowing it to make every future decision. Malik asks whether Amir spoke about her after the match. Rami says he thanks her for helping, but still does not trust her. Malik says he never expects trust to return quickly. Rami asks why she continues asking about it. Malik admits she does not know whether she wants forgiveness, love, or simply proof that she is not completely lost. Rami says those are different needs. Amir contained repair all of them. Rami received a message from one of his contacts near the harbor. Uzes has sent two cars toward the same coastal area where Amir and Naz are traveling. Rami immediately calls Merritt warns Amir, telling him not to use the direct roads to the farmhouse. Naz turns onto a smaller mountain route. The road becomes narrow with thick trees on both sides. They soon notice a dark vehicle several hundred meters behind them. Amy tells Nas not to speed. The road is wet and panic may cause an accident. Nas asks whether the car belongs to Zay. Amir says they should assume it does. Merritt guides them toward a village road that divides into three directions. Lella uses traffic cameras to follow the dark vehicle. Nas turns left and takes a hidden road towards an old quarry. The car behind them follow, confirming that they are being tracked. Amir tells Nas to continue while he gets out and creates delay. Nas refuses. Amir says they cannot both be caught. She reminds him that Tariq just warned him against fighting every battle personally. Amir answered that this is not a football field. Nas says the lesson still applies. Instead of separating, they leave the car behind a broken storage building and continue through the trees together. Two men reach the car and find it empty. One calls Uze and reports that Amir and Nas escaped into the forest. Uze orders them to search. He also sends another vehicle toward the farmhouse. He believes the message was designed to force Amir and Nas onto a route where they could be followed. Someone wants all sides to reach island at the same time. Amir and Naz move through the trees using Laila's direction. The farmhouse lies less than 3 kilometers away. Naz's shoes are not made for the muddy ground, but she refuses to slow down. Amir offers his hand while they cross a small tree. Naz